Welcome, Ultras, Switchy Sisters, and Danonites alike to episode 33 of the weekly episodic gaming-adjacent livestream podcast show. This is Switch 2 Ultra, back on Mondays. We were talking about Ice Spice for a long time before we went live. Tonight, we have a new Direct, a new update, a new console, a new trailer, a new controversy, a new leak, and new Game Award nominations that came out today, all ahead of the release of Kirby Air Riders at the end of this week. I'm your co-parent, BHultra.
I am your co-parent, Switchy.
And I am your Funkle Dan.
It really hits every single time. Listen, this show's gone through a lot of changes, right? It's crazy to think that it was back in, it was end of March when we started it?
Yep.
Feels like such a constant now. There have been a lot of threads that we followed from weeks on end, like week to week. Kirby Air Riders being one of them. However, there have been few unraveling stories that have taken us through as many weeks as that Mega Evolution leak from earlier this year, from the Terra leak. The podcast before Mega Dragonite was revealed, we had mentioned a Mega Dragology leak. After that reveal, we returned here and looked over the rest of the list of leaked Megas. And then after that, Switchy and I each picked 5 Pokemon from the list to put together our own mock-ups for what we thought those Megas might look like. And once the game, Legends ZA, was out for a couple weeks, we gathered and compared our answers for the first batch of 5. And I said that we would not cover the next 5 mock-ups we made until I saw all of them genuinely in the game. And last time I played Pokemon Legends ZA on stream, I battled that one coffee lady and got a glimpse of Mega Pyroar, which means we could finally conclude this fake Mega Saga and see which one of us was on the nose the most. So from the previous mock-ups, I don't have it up now, but I think my Feraligatr was wrong. Your Meganium was kind of close in the fact that, it just had a bigger neck thing.
Yeah.
And then my Starmie was mostly right. What were the other 2 on that mock-up? Because if it wasn't these, which ones did I... Oh, my Excadrill was wrong for the most part. It did get bigger, but not in the way that I wanted. And then the 5th one, it had to have been one of yours, right? Do you remember what the other one was?
I remember doing
It was
Drampa.
Yeah. And I don't know if Drampa was close. So I think we each have 1 in the bucket for Meganium and for Mega Starmie. But working down the line, your Mega Clefable, which the main thing is that obviously it's bigger and that it has more prominent wings. That's sort of what happened with the real Mega Clefable.
Yeah. I got the ears wrong. I expected there to be bigger wings. I didn't expect it to be that big. I guess I'm kind of proud of myself for just assuming there'd be some new ice cream shit on top of its head, even though I wasn't completely right. I assumed there was gonna be a different change there.
Your designs are a lot more reserved, I'll say. I think you were.
I played it really safe.
Too.
I would have probably guessed Mega Pyroar really well. Honestly. Because they didn't do shit with Mega Pyroar.
I feel like, okay, well, hold on. Dan, you weren't here for the mock-up era, so I think you could be the impartial judge here. Would you count this Mega Clefable as correct?
Can you... Hold on, I'm not...
Oh, my mistake.
I realized I was not watching the screen. Hold on.
No worries.
Let me do that right now. All right, can you put away... Okay, let me see. Okay, back and forth. Honestly, other than, the size of the cream hat, it's kind of 1-to-1.
The
other
design
than the
idea
cream hat
is there for sure.
Yeah, it's the same basic. It's very the structure's very similar, which is very impressive that Switchy got that very, very almost to a T.
Very fairy. So would you count this as correct?
I'll give it the point, yeah.
All right, I think that's 2 feathers in Switch's cap. I'm going to tell you right off the bat that I think your Chandelure is the most correct one.
Yes, 100%.
That it's just more candelabra or more of a chandelier.
Megas like that are easy to guess. I feel like if there's ever if a Pokemon has 5 spikes or whatever, you can usually guess there's going to be more spikes. I think that's an element of Mega Evolution design philosophy that I think is easy to bet on. That's why I picked Chandelure. I'm like, okay, well, this is not hard to guess.
Mm-hmm. So, well, I guess we got to go to the Dan for this one. Dan, what do you think? Because I'm gonna give it to him.
I'm gonna give it to him too. Yeah, that's like 1-to-1 right there.
So you got Meganium,
Can I see what I drew again?
You got yeah. Let me get this button.
Okay, I don't think I really did anything different with the little like head hat thing. I think I just played it safe there.
Yeah, but it's crazy. You got the little twirls down too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty. Yeah.
Here's my thing, right? If we're going off of like, the main thing, right? We're going to focus on the main like design principle. The main design principle of Clefable having big wings. The main design principle of Chandelure just becoming more of a candelabra, more of a chandelier. I would argue, if I could defend my case, if my main for lack of a better term, idea for Mega Pyroar was it having a bigger mane and also a little tendril extending upwards, that's not too far off.
Huh.
Dan, thoughts? Oh, okay.
I wish we could see the rest of the body in the render, because it's very like, I mean, they made the mane bigger, and that's the only thing I can.
I was gonna say, does his body change that much?
Does this also take effect for female Pyroar?
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
That's
really woke about it.
That was my idea with the Mega, to like kind of combine the two different gender differences.
Kind of like what they did with the Paradox Gallade Gardevoir.
Yeah, something like that.
What I thought you were about to say when you started saying like the male Mega Pyroar has that large like extra bit and the female doesn't.
It's like
which is just like a a dick joke.
Yeah, the two Mega Pyroars meet up and they attach these little tendrils. They also attach them to their horses. Okay, so Dan, how do you feel about how correct was my Mega Pyroar?
I mean, basically the big thing is the bigger like mane, which it seems like you basically got down. Okay. Obviously, the connecting avatar type braid stuff didn't work out.
No.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, you kind of got the the mane. So I mean, I don't know. It's so hard to say because like. Did you make any other changes besides the mane, or was it just the mane?
I think it's just the mane. I didn't know how to draw the rest of it, so I just had it like naturally kind of lead off screen.
But when people like only draw their characters with their hands behind their back because they're too lazy to draw hands.
The paws are out of frame just in case.
Right. Yeah. You know what? I gave Switchy the point for the hat. I'll give you the point for the mane.
Okay, well I'm glad you said that because it doesn't matter anyway. I think Switchy already won because we know that Malamar and Phalanx are not. Well, I'm just go ahead. My Mega Malamar was sort of this amalgamation. This. I don't want to say Cthulhu-esque being because everyone says like Cthulhu's the squid guy, but the purpose of Cthulhu is that he's an unknowable being. Anyway, I got that very wrong. This one's got the big head. And if we're comparing Phalanx, your Mega Phalanx mock-up was a Goomba stack, and what we got was more than meets the eye. It's just a bunch of them kind of together.
I do like Mega Phalanx. I think Mega Phalanx was a very fun thing to do.
But I think
that was
on
a
the
good
scoreboard,
choice.
If I got Starmie. I hit the nail on the head with Starmie. I got Starmie and Pyroar, and then Switchy got Meganium, Clefable, and Chandelure. I think that's, of our each individual 5 mock-ups, I think Switchy wins this one out. Another Switchy victory. I'll
take it.
Yeah.
You did a really good job with these. Where were we at? Well, if I'm moving forward, like just going through the week in order, I think one of the main things we covered last time on the Switch to Ultra featuring Dan video game adjacent video live stream podcast, were the potential Mario Galaxy movie leaked by the Pillsbury Dough Company, so on and so forth. And I feel like that's been the theme of Nintendo this entire year. It is later down the timeline of stuff we're covering, but also today we got some images for the live action Legend of Zelda movie, and very blurry images, very low quality images. It's about what I expected a live action Zelda to look. I think it's interesting that they're going for this more Twilight Princess Link design, but more of like a Breath of the Wild Zelda. I don't know what I expected because, again, these actors are relative unknowns, so I didn't think I would recognize them. But some believe that the reason those images were shown off today is because principal photography, I think, has begun, or they're filming on location. So there's been a lot of on-set leaks, and that's what happens when you're filming on location. That's one of the downsides. So the belief is that they showed off those official images because they started leaking out, right? And we want to believe that, like, nah, Nintendo's on top of this, right? They have it all planned out. But it seems like, it felt like the initial Switch reveal earlier this year was due to leaks. It felt like the Direct was due to leaks. And it felt like that Zelda release was due to leaks. And now, immediately following, I believe, not because of the podcast, but the podcast where we covered the Mario Galaxy movie leaks, where it showed off Yoshi and Bowser Jr., we were given a Super Mario Galaxy movie Direct. And I won't play all of it because a lot of it is just like movie footage. But did you guys have the opportunity to watch this Direct and thus the trailer?
I actually did not watch the Direct. I did watch the trailer, but I never actually saw the Direct.
Facilitates the trailer. It's a 7-minute quote Direct. I mean, the only parts of the Direct that are more like Direct fun are they do the little after the trailer. They do this moment where they, in the initial September Direct in 2021, where they have everyone's images. They announce Brie Larson as the voice of Rosalina. Good choice. And then we see more footage of Bowser Jr., and we know the voice is going to be announced. This is the part of the Direct that I did like, that Jack Black came out. Also, worth noting, interesting, he has Candy Skull shirt. Something to point out is all I'm saying.
Not to interject, but this is partially why I don't think this all came out because of the Pillsbury Dough leak, because I feel like getting Jack Black here and everything, like I feel like, or it just seems like there's a lot of things that have to be done just to film this whole Direct. I assume they were just gonna do a lot of promo all at once, and some of the promo kind of spilled out a little early.
I mean, I think like I agree with that. The only possible scenario is this was already taped, like everything was already taped, and they just decided to show it off earlier because of the leak. Like if they had already taken care of the Jack Black stuff, then I mean,
yeah, you're right. I'm kind of like being overly simplistic in my narrative.
Another argument against it is like the Pillsbury leak predominantly leaked. I mean, it just showed an icon representing Bowser Jr. The biggest part of the leak was Yoshi, and Yoshi's not even in this Direct or this trailer at all. So if they like quickly were like, we have to roll this out because Yoshi leaked, Yoshi doesn't appear in the trailer or the
that's true. Yeah,
Jack Black shows up and Miyamoto bows and says, "Thank you, Jackson."
Well, okay, but Yoshi's like the one thing we know is
looks. I've seen people comment on his weird hyper-realistic eyes.
Oh, I didn't notice those.
I think they look fine. I don't have an issue with them.
I like the voice too.
I don't. I saw someone comparing the picture they use of Benny Safdie to a Smiling Friends memorial pic, which kind of made me laugh.
Yeah, it's kind of
funny. But like, I don't know. I mean, it's like comedian voice. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of wish Bowser Jr. had more of a, like childish kind of voice. You know what I mean? Like, like a snot-eating baby who sucks. I don't know. Because
I mean, okay, so like
relative unknown. This is the director of Uncut Gems. I'll have you know.
No, I know.
I'm arguing with Twitch chat.
I don't disagree in the general sense, but because I think the voice would be more fitting. But at the same time, in more of the meta sense, I just don't think I'd like the movie as much if we had to listen to like a snot-nosed little like annoying sounding guy who's quote the main villain of the movie the entire time, especially if he has as much screen presence as Bowser had in the original. Like, I mean, I like his voice. It's not the voice I would have gone with particularly, but I think it does a serviceable job.
In the Rosalina
Do you guys remember that like old green text from like probably like 2021? Where someone's like imagining the Illumination Mario movie, and it starts off with like Luigi voiced by Aziz Ansari and like Mario's voiced by Seth Rogen and stuff like that.
A bit about Bowser Jr. voiced by Kevin Hart. I wouldn't hate that. I don't mind Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hart.
Well, it's like there's like a style of acting or voice acting I think you see in a lot of these movies where it's kind of a comedian sort of playing themselves as if I don't want to say I would say playing themselves where they kind of are doing the same kind of comedic bit they would normally do when they're doing comedy, just kind of like, oh, but I'm also Mario. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I personally was really, really on edge about that, especially when they initially named Chris Pratt was going to be Mario, because that's what I imagine. I imagine like sort of like a loafer, kind of like not Star, I almost said
Starburns.
Starburns.
Well, I was gonna say that Community episode where Chad gets really famous and then he's cast in the Crayons movie directed by Steven Spielberg, and he's voicing the color blue. I think that's a really apt comparison to that.
Yeah, so it's like and I think honestly, although I don't think Benny Safdie is like has much of a comedic like history as a voice actor, but it does kind of feel like he's not really that. There's not a lot of pressure. Maybe, I mean, to be fair, you can say this is the same kind of thing with Jack Black and Bowser. You know, they're kind of taking on a certain kind of different character, or I don't know. I mean, it's like I feel like Chris Pratt's Mario was like surprisingly earnest. It didn't really feel like a parody of Mario, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I think when it comes to celebrity voices, there are two different schools of thought on if it is, because this is an adaptation. It's a very loose adaptation, but it's an adaptation of a celebrity playing an animated character or an animated character that is built around a celebrity. So like when they remake Aladdin and they have Will Smith play the genie, he's playing a character that was built around Robin Williams. Like the initial animation tests for the genie were built on Robin Williams stand-up. Even like I almost said modern movies, but I guess it's not modern. But like more modern examples, like Shrek or like Mater from Cars. Like when you hear about Larry the Cable Guy voicing Mater, you don't think like, oh man, he's taken that away from actual voice actors. You think like, oh yeah, because that character is just him.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference between casting an actor or like a non-voice actor. I mean, that's different when it comes to people who are theatrically trained or have performed on stage predominantly. I will say, I think it's the same director. It's the same team behind this movie, right? And I know people...
I assume.
Yeah.
Early, like, I think the way it was pitched to me early on the first movie is that it was like the directors or the team behind the second Lego movie. And what I like about the second Lego movie, not more than the first, but I think what makes it stand out is that one is particularly a musical. Like they mention it, there's a bunch of songs in it. And I think if you're making a Mario movie sequel, using the most popular bits from the first Mario movie, which was like the Peaches song from Bowser, and you have a cast made up of Jack Black, Charlie Day, Keegan-Michael Key, and now Brie Larson, I feel like, and maybe this is just me projecting, that you probably should lean a little bit more into the musicality of it all, the musical numbers. I at least hope that it tunes back on the licensed music and leans more into the Mario Galaxy soundtrack.
Yeah. Well, you know, for what it's worth, at least when it comes to being a faithful Mario adaptation, I liked what I saw in the trailer. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to say, Dan?
Well, I was going to say, like, I think even with the use of licensed music in the first movie, I think for the most part, they did a pretty good job with renditions of the music from the series in the movie. And, you know, other than like that one really, really out of place version of Take On Me,
well,
which did not work at all.
There are a lot of good tracks that didn't make in the movie.
So yeah. I do hope they continue with that trend and put even more original compositions that are reminiscent of the games in the movie. And
I suppose you guys haven't seen as much like discourse around this, not like all negative, but what I have heard, I want to pick your brains about this. It's not even something I believe because I don't, right? In this Rosalina trailer, I won't play too much of it, we see Megaleg. By the way, big pop off for Megaleg because I love Mario Galaxy. Jack Black later says it's the greatest game of all time. And
yeah, who's better?
That Megaleg has like a deeper voice here. And I thought I assume the implication is that Bowser Jr. is in there and is using a roboticized voice. But I saw people saying like, oh no, the leak said that Wario is going to be in this movie. It's probably Wario inside Megaleg. And I don't know what leaks people are talking about or where that's coming from. How do you guys... I
saw the leak for that, yeah.
Well, what's the information about this Wario situation?
It's like they saved the world, but now Wario is back in town, and he's an old rival of Mario, and they used to work together, and now they're enemies. But then they just never connect that to like the actual like Bowser Jr. stuff. I agree. I think it's just Bowser Jr. in there. I don't know why Wario would be in there.
He has no relation to Mega Leg at all.
He's turning everyone.
If anything, I kind of thought it was like he'd take like a Foreman Spike role, where it's like he's an antagonist, but like an antagonist off to the side. You know, maybe he's more involved than Foreman Spike, but like
that. Like I know we're slowly building the universe, but like out of all the characters, that Foreman Spike is a character in the first movie. I remember seeing theories for the first movie that Foreman Spike, like how Eggman in the Sonic movies slowly turns more and more into Eggman, that Foreman Spike was going to become Wario in this Mario movie series.
That'd be very funny. I don't see it happening, but that'd be very funny.
Yeah, because if they cast Wario, it's going to have to be a big deal. They're going to have to do one of these actor things where they're like, that's right, Danny DeVito is Wario.
If he's not, I mean, they got to get someone good, and if it's not Danny, they better have like someone very, very good. Like that is like
Stavros.
That's my one casting issue. I swear to God. Now, question: do you think Yoshi will talk?
Can I build off of that with the Zelda movie thing as well? Do you think Link's gonna talk?
Yeah, I would say he will.
I saw people saying like, dude, Link better not talk in this movie. It's like, I don't know. Like, he's the main character.
I mean, I will say I am very glad.
It sure is boring around here.
I am very glad to see that he is in the green tunic and not the Breath of the Wild tunic, because when I first saw that leak,
people talking shit about Zelda being in her like Breath of the Wild design.
Sort of Breath of the Wild. She's got the blue at the very least.
And you know, like when I saw the leak, I'm like, can we not, like with this? Can we do? You know, I would rather they do an original story or retelling of a game rather than like do Breath of the Wild, because I'm so Breath of the Wild out.
I mean,
I'm so
Breath of the Wild fatigue is very real.
I think it'll be like the Mario or Sonic movies, where it's kind of like an amalgamation of several things. Or at least I hope so. Probably like Ocarina Breath of the Wild is what I'm assuming. Because those are like the most popular ones, right? It's also funny like, that
Breath of the Wild, like, you know, even for people who like Breath of the Wild a lot, everyone says Breath of the Wild has like one of the weakest like final bosses of the entire Zelda series. And they're not wrong, and that just makes me think, well, if they're doing Breath of the Wild, then what do they do? Like, what's the end game? You know, like, what's the end game for this?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be dumb. And it's going to look awful if they do a CG, like, Ganon type thing. It's going to look so bad.
That's the other thing, too, is that, like, with any other adaptation, right, that has multiple different villains, you can have them... Like, if you're doing a Spider-Man movie, you could have him... not kill, because, you know, Spider-Man's not supposed to kill or whatever, even though he often does. Kill or jail the enemy at the end, and then the next movie could be a different rival, and then the movie after that could be a different rival. But obviously, and we see the Mario movie, Bowser Jr. is going to be a predominant antagonist, but Bowser is still in it. When we see these live-action Sonic movies, Eggman keeps coming back, and we have tertiary antagonists or major ones like his grandpa and Shadow, right? But he is the main antagonist. And Zelda sort of has that too, where... you need to start with Ganondorf. Like, I don't think you can start with Ganon. And I think you need to... Because every single time, if I'm not mistaken, they just kill Ganondorf straight out. Like, maybe one time they imprison him and then he gets away. But every single time, like, when there's a Ganondorf and Ganondorf turns into Ganon fight, they slay him. He dies. But assuming this is going to be a franchise, a series, they realistically can't do that. Unless they want to fight Zant in the second one. Or Vati.
Girahim and Hilda or something.
None of those
Uncle
have the
Rupee?
same impact.
Do they want to fight Uncle Rupee in the sequel?
It does really look like a fan film, because this is what you would do. You would buy a Zelda tunic and then go to a field.
Yeah, right. In some ways, like, the only discerning factor of, like, whether it's a fan film or not is, like, if the costume is good. Because, like, you know, you could just as easily be Ian from Smosh wearing a fucking tunic. And, like,
Peanut Butter Gamer.
No, I mean, like, when I first saw that, like, it didn't register to me as if, like, oh, this is the actual Zelda movie.
Yeah,
You
this is
know,
a really
it's
high
like
budget.
Yeah, I mean,
Smosh skit.
it does look very like.
it's like they hired
you know,
some cosplayers. Like,
I hate to say it, but like I need to see the hat. I need to see the
He
hat.
is missing his head.
You know?
What if it's like a surfing Dracula
dude,
where the
it
movie
might be
ends
like
with
some
him getting the
Marvel
hat?
shit. It might be some Marvel shit where he just doesn't wear the hat until like the last 15 minutes.
No, the movie ends
I'm
with him
gonna
getting
hate
the
it.
hat, and he's like, "Now I'm Link."
I hate it. Oh,
But I think
now I'm really
I
nervous.
didn't watch the entirety of the Witcher series, but I think what I liked about it is how dense the like world felt. And I know, like, the most iconic thing about Zelda from a location standpoint is probably the field, right? The Hyrule field, whether that be Breath of the Wild or Ocarina of Time, sure. The horseback riding, okay. But I want to see some towns. I want to see some Death Mountain. I want to see some dense water areas.
Yeah, some villages. You know, get in
Yeah.
there.
I want him smashing pots, and then people being like, "What the hell, Link? You smashed my pot!" And he looks at the camera and goes, "Ugh."
Did I do that?
And he winks.
Need like Ganon to sneak up behind him and be like, "Whoa, whoa, hey, I think he's
That's
right
really
behind me."
fucked up, Link. What you just did. That's fucked up, man. But I think Yoshi will talk. I think.
Do you think he'll talk? Okay, do you think he'll
Dude,
talk like full on talking? Do you think he'll talk like what's the word I'm looking for? I guess from the cartoon, that's a good example. Like he didn't like full on talk, but he like Yoshi talked, if you know what I mean.
That's Mama Luigi
Like
to
Sna-
you.
Like Snarf talk. Do you think he'll talk like a Snarf?
Yeah.
Like a Snarf talker.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm trying to because it would have to be. Okay, so here's my thing. Do you think if Yoshi does have a voice, do you think it'll be another like actor, like A-list actor, or do you think they're just gonna have him do what if it's just Scott Menville? Because I'd be fine with that.
That'd be cool.
Who's the
I'd like
voice
that.
actor who's done like all the animal noises? At least like.
Oh, that's
Bradley
Steve Bradley
Baker.
Baker.
Yeah,
Steve
get
I
him.
love
Bradley
Bradley
Baker.
I would not.
Dude,
say no to
I would
Bradley
support.
Baker.
I would support hiring D. Bradley Baker just on principle.
I mean,
but,
they got
like-
Kevin Michael Richardson. They could have Kevin Michael Richardson voice
That's what I'm
Yoshi.
saying.
He
Well,
could do
That's
that.
why I think like Scott Menville, because he's just the voice of like all the Koopas that aren't named in the movie, right?
Right. That could work. I mean, oh god, I just realized, is it going to be like I'm scared now. I was going to say, because I was thinking like, these are the Teen Titans Go guys. Are they going to get Greg Sipes? And I don't even want to think about that.
He's gonna come into the studio and be eating grass for real. It's called method acting. Well, here's the thing
Dude,
too. Like
for
we
some
have-
reason, I have like a feeling that Yoshi's not gonna talk. Like,
he's gonna have a muzzle on him the whole movie.
no,
Well-
I mean it. Well, okay, I mean you know what I mean, but like in the
Yeah.
sense of like, it just seems that having like a cute like animal character, like I think there's like a certain kind of muscle you can flex with that that you can't with other kinds of characters for whatever that matters. I don't know. I feel like they could probably make a character like Yoshi like genuinely really cute, but it might be a little harder if he talks. But I don't know. They could also make him like be like a total like what's the word? Like a nihilist like that Luma in the
I was
fucking
gonna
like
say
prison.
I think
I'm not. I'm not looking forward to
I
him.
think whether or not he has a voice depends on if Yoshi is a character or if Yoshi is a species. Because we see several Lumas in this. We know there's several.
Well,
Toads.
yes, but there's also not Kevin. There's Keegan Michael Key.
Right.
So
the rest
it's
of Toads aren't.
there's kind of like, well,
if
what do we
Yoshi's
do about
Jordan
this
Peele?
now?
What about that?
That would actually be pretty funny
We
because
already have the Uncut Gems director. Let's get the Get Out and Nope and Us director as well.
because I watched Super Mansion and Jordan Peele guest starred on that for like a few episodes as like a voice, and he's actually pretty good
He
with
was
like
in that Toy Story
character
movie, right?
voices.
Toy Story 4?
Yeah, but that was more like Key and Peele doing Key and Peele.
Yeah.
That
No,
wasn't
for
like him
anyone-
doing a voice.
For anyone coming here for information about that, I haven't even bothered watching any of the Toy Story stuff. I'm fully checked out of it. You're in the wrong place.
Dude, I like
there's
haven't
toys in it.
watched Toy Story 4 on principle. I'm sorry.
You're protesting.
I watched it once and I haven't watched it
I
since.
saw it in theaters in 2019, and I was like, what another fitting ending to the saga. Because, like, Woody leaves. Like, he's like, all right, guys, time to say goodbye. And Woody just comes back? What of that entire movie?
You know, it's so funny when they do those kinds of like sad goodbye scenes, and it like hits like initially when the movie comes out like really hard because like they're not gonna come back, or there's not gonna be another movie for like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
But then like, you know, there are people who watch the movies like years after they come out, so they see the end of a movie and like the character leaves, everyone's so sad, and then immediately when that movie ends, they like start watching the next movie. And the character comes back, and they're like, "Oh, okay."
I'll talk about it way at the end, but I saw the new Now You See Me the last weekend, and it kind of has that too, where every single time it's like, okay, last job, now we're done for good. I saw another trailer, or like they were doing a sit down interview, and they're like, "Don't worry, you don't have to watch the other movies. You can jump into this one," which isn't true at all. No fucking way is that true.
Well, they only said that so more people would come.
Right. I mean, it opened really well. But I'll get into the movies I watched at the end of this pod, probably, if we have the time. However, as far as major Nintendo things go, beyond the Mario Galaxy Directs, if we were going down our list of things, I'm just going in timeline order of where stuff happened. There was a free Pikmin 4 update. Now, this is different from our regular, like, Animal Crossing gets a Switch 2 edition and a free update, or Scarlet and Violet get an update when Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom get a Switch 2 edition. Did either of you guys have an opportunity to play the Pikmin 4 update?
I don't have Pikmin 4.
No, I've really been grinding for for something in Pokemon that I'm not going to say in regards to spoilers.
Okay. So to my knowledge, the most, but Switch, you haven't played Pikmin 4. Dan, you have played Pikmin 4.
Yes, I beat Pikmin 4. I beat Olimar's story. I beat all of that.
Okay. Did you have strong feelings about the differences between Pikmin 4 and the other games?
Well, I mean, I do have strong feelings. I don't think it's a bad game. I actually really like it a lot.
No, when
it
I
is
came
definitely
back to this game to do this update, I was like, holy shit, I love this game, actually. Why did I stop playing this?
Yeah, the game's great. But then again, like, it is a very slow beginning. So you kind of have to like get past that first 2 hours before you get really into it. You know, Pokemon have that same issue too.
It still does.
It still does, yeah. And I also never had a problem with auto lock. I know a lot of people did.
Right. So that's
I never had that issue.
The new update added the ability to turn off auto lock, right? And
right.
It's like when you play the DS version of Mario 64 on a 3DS. Like, on the DS, it's like, oh man, you have to control with the D-pad. But if you play on the 3DS, you don't have to anymore. But the game was still built with a D-pad in mind. It's sort of like that.
So it doesn't register like 360 motion.
Mod a Pokemon game to turn off the experience share. It's like, well, that you can't just turn it on or off. Like, there are fundamental differences in the game. And playing this game without the auto lock is more annoying than playing the game with the auto lock. And I'll concede, like, I do really like this game. I think my biggest issue has been, or at least the frustration of going back, is the auto lock system. Like, it's annoyed me a couple times, but other occurrences or annoyances, I was just like, okay, that was my fault. That was a skill issue, quote unquote. But the other main update, I mean, the framing of the main update is what we're seeing here, is the decor Pikmin, where each course, or each level, there are 4 specific decor Pikmin hidden around the map, and you only have 4 screenshots to go off of to find them. And I was doing my little tag every time I caught one. I just put a little Bulborb right there. And they're wearing a little costume of like a real world appliance. And I've been more into the console game. And also I love this part, that they'll join you and they'll stay with you. So if you ever go back to that level and you pick a group of Pikmin, like that's a white Pikmin, then one of your white Pikmin will always be a little sushi guy. And it gives you incentive to go back to all these lands to get the 4 decor Pikmin. I learned that there was one level I hadn't unlocked yet, so I did my best to like get there, but I wanted to go back and get the other past decor Pikmin that's adding to there. I also, like I said, I predominantly played the console games, and thus Pikmin 4. There is cross-convergence where you can send the decor Pikmin to Pikmin Bloom. And I have played Pikmin Bloom, but not like substantially. Dan, did you ever play that mobile game?
No, I did not get into like Pikmin until the Pikmin 4 hype kind of came around.
That's what happened to me in 23, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, well, I played 3 Deluxe when that came out. I got that. Was that before or after 4? I
That
don't actually
was
remember.
before, because it was like October 2020.
Right. Okay. So I got that, and then I really got into that, and then I'm like, okay, I have it on my Wii U, the Pikmin 1, Pikmin 2 Wii version, and I'll play it eventually. I never did, and then they announced it for Switch. I'm like, okay, well now I'll play it, and then I played 1 and 2, and I liked of Pikmin 1 and 3. I really liked 2 of those games, and then Pikmin 4 happened, and I really liked Pikmin 4. Lot of like force stuff you have to do, like you kind of have to like go down a certain path for like the first hour or so before you can actually like do your own thing.
Okay, so I'm asking Twitch chat, does the update, like, does it speed up dialogue? Does it skip
cutscenes or something?
Yeah, how do you mean it speeds up the beginning? But yeah, as far as like a quality, I mean, there's little quote unquote quality of life changes that, I'm keeping the lock on because that's the way the game was built. It's like whenever I play a video game and there's different difficult. Oh, they also added, sorry, I totally blanked. There's an easy and a hard difficulty now, where enemies will just kill you a lot faster and like fire and other elements will linger. And I didn't even bother. Go ahead.
Is it actually easy? Because I thought there was an easy, but I thought they were also like adding a difficulty setting that was just they're not going to attack you at all, so you could just take pictures, right? Isn't that what they added?
I didn't even bother with either. Not that I was like personally offended, but I was just like, I don't want to play this game in easy or hard mode. I want to play the game, and that's how I feel with most games. Like I know some games were built with a hard mode in mind, but if they have a normal mode, I'm always just going to default to normal mode anyway. Yeah, the idea is that once you take a picture, they join you on the little mission. So it gives you, aside from quality of life changes, it gives you a reason to go back to these levels. Because there's only like a handful of them. I don't think they're in the Olimar levels. I think they're just in like the mainline, your character and Ochi levels. Also, on top of it, this new photo mode, which seems to be a selling point of every modern, not just Nintendo game, but every modern game.
I'm kind of glad that's becoming a normal thing. It's just nice to have. You can do some fun things in it.
Yeah, well, every game is becoming more social, and consoles have like built-in social buttons on it now.
What was the theory again? It cracks me up whenever I think about it. What was the like theory that the C button, like it's the connect button?
Oh, that you can
connect another switch.
Oh yes, the connect button.
Like imagine that being the case just for like Wii U Virtual Console. I mean, not sorry, DS Virtual Console.
Yeah, well, maybe now you can... What if you hit the connect button and you could put it inside a Virtual Boy? Well, now what we've seen with the Virtual Boy, I don't put it past them to, like, release a peripheral for Virtual Console. Although I don't think they're going to do that for DS. I think they'll just... I mean, you could just put the screens next to each other. Because the Switch screen is wide. You could just fit 2 squares on there.
That's true.
Though I feel like that would compromise on the way the game's played.
Exactly. I think we said this last week, but like for DS specifically, like and 3DS, it's like I gotta have like a 2-screen system, otherwise it just doesn't feel right,
Yeah, like emulating DS games is not a thing I do because I'm a good person, but
it's illegal. Actually, you're admitting to a crime.
I follow the law. Yeah. But like if I were to emulate a DS game, I would find it really frustrating and annoying. So
it's not that bad. There's some issues I've run into with certain games where like you need to spin the stylus around the screen, and I just can't replicate that with a mouse.
No, like I'd imagine like I mean, for example, like like I've emulated I may or may not have emulated like before it came out, like in the before the Western version came out, like Prosecutor's Path, Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Like that's like pretty fine.
I would never do that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right. It's
Shame
like
on you. Shame.
And that game's fine, but I think to myself, like I imagine emulating like Spirit Tracks Zelda is like annoying as hell.
It is. It is very annoying.
Like, click around and do everything. It sounds just annoying.
When I
well, it's also just like, not that I've done this, but Spirit Tracks in general is a very annoying game to emulate because of the way it's coded. Like this is not a problem with Phantom Hourglass. It's specifically with Spirit Tracks.
Interesting. I wonder why. Is it like
maybe like it might be because of anti-piracy measures that they noticed for Phantom Hourglass that they must have implemented into Spirit Tracks, where the anti-piracy is you cannot control the train speed, so you are going to be going at like the slowest train speed the entire time.
There was in 2023, I do this thing every year called Finish February on stream, where I try and wrap up the series I played from the previous year if I didn't finish them. Granted, I guess I didn't finish Pikmin 4 yet, and I got to go back to it. But that's why I like these updates, because it kind of gives me an excuse to do so. Granted, I think this free update...
it keeps games in the consciousness, I think, because I feel like there are a lot of games that get a second win because of stuff like this.
Yeah, granted, I think this free update means we're probably not going to get a Switch 2 edition for Pikmin 4. Because if it was, then they would have dropped at the same time.
When did it come out again?
It's a little disappointing, because 2020...
Oh, the game or the update?
The game itself.
2023. July. Or June, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was going to say, the Finish February I did in 2023, I wanted to wrap up my Kirby Superstar Ultra playthrough from the previous year. And I normally do 3-hour streams, and that one I finished in like 30 minutes because I was like over-preparing. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm going to do now. So I started playing other DS games that like... I had backups of all the games I had on the DS. I only emulate games I've bought that I can't play on stream. That's not true. And then one of them was like this Bakugan game, and I'm like, oh, I'm actually close to beating it. I never beat it as a kid. I should like finish it. And in the final battle, it requires so much stylus movement that I'm like, this isn't even a skill issue. Like I physically cannot beat this on PC. It's not possible. I mean, there's the brain training Switch game where you hold the Switch.
Yeah.
It's only in handheld and you hold it vertically.
I love that. I guess
they
Brain
could
Age.
do that, but I don't know. I think people would be opposed to that.
Well, let's not forget the disaster that was Pokemon Dash.
Oh yeah. That was like 2005 too. That was like an early ass DS game. That was like Gen
that shit
3,
like that broke your touchscreen. Like that got
That's
aggressive.
the other thing too. Like if you have hardware like the Switch 2 and it's not an OLED screen, but like a really good screen, you probably don't want to be hitting it as vigorously as you would a DS game.
Yeah,
well, that's why I think they probably would have to like rework it, or they'd only have DS games that would work with the control scheme.
It would have to be mouse controls, and that would suck.
That would suck, actually. That would be awful. God, I can't even imagine playing that with, because then you could, but then again, you'd have to play it in handheld if you do the peripheral way, and if you only have mouse controls, that means you're already down a goddamn Joy-Con. So it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah, there's only so much you can damn do or damn don't. Now, Switchy, earlier you asked me when this game came out, and I thought you meant when the update came out.
No, I meant the game, yeah.
Yeah, but what's interesting about... I'm segueing. What's interesting about that is that this update actually released on November 11th, and not the November... Let me actually do a little reveal for this. November 11th, and not the Thursday, November 13th. And as we know... Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube NSO came out October 30th. The Thursday after that, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment came out. Then we had a Thursday, and now this upcoming Thursday, Kirby Air Riders comes out. And then 2 Thursdays after, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond releases. So I thought, maybe steamrolling the conversation a little bit, I'm like, we all think this. I assumed that this Pikmin 4 update would likely come out November 13th. It actually came out 2 days before. So it's possible whatever we think might happen on November 27th could instead happen 2 days earlier on November 25th. And today we got this announcement that statues of Chunky and Lanky Kong will be making their way to Donkey Kong Bonanza Emerald Rush on November 25th, which is actually 2 days before November 27th. Now, is it possible that this Donkey Kong update is that Thursday or close to Thursday, that week's big Nintendo thing, or could these statues coincide with another release? Because these are a lot of references to specifically Donkey Kong 64.
So you think that maybe they're going to also drop like DK64 that week?
I think it's possible.
I could see that.
Because they've done it already.
I was going to say, they have this opportunity now. It would be weird for them not to do that. So that could be, because if it's just the statues, that's kind of dumb and lame.
Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, just log in for statues.
I guess they're really trying to make the DLC worth it, the Emerald Rush. Have either of you gotten Emerald Rush? Because I haven't.
Dude,
I did, and I played it for like a few days, and then I'm like, I'm kind of done now. I don't want to. Because
there's no bananas, right?
Well, there's like one
I
secret
give this
cosmetic you
game
can unlock,
0 out of 5 bananas.
but like it's so cumbersome to unlock. It's really annoying. It's not
Yeah,
worth it.
just I don't know.
It
I
does
don't wanna
feel
get
like
it.
barren because why make the island if you're not going to be able to like do anything on the actual island, you know?
Can
Yeah.
you destroy the island at the very least?
Great. What am I, King K. Rule?
It was a yes or no question.
Yes, I mean, yeah, you can destroy
Okay,
the island.
Because
I mean,
there's some layers where it's like, oh, I can't wait to destroy this thing, and then it's mostly like green metal that you can't break. Those were the layers I think I disliked the most.
Oh, did
well,
you
I
not
mean,
like the
you
distro
get
layer
to
then?
the bottom eventually.
Okay. I mean, I get why they had it there, right, for the structure of the level, but I think my favorites to run around were where I could just destroy the entire thing from top to bottom. Because I did beat the game, right, and the second ending as well. But I haven't fully gotten everything in it because I beat it right before ZA came out, and now I'm hopefully going to at least beat base game ZA before Kirby Air Riders comes out. Hopefully we have more of a slate. I don't want to pray that we don't have a lot of games coming out for a while, but, you know, I want an opportunity to go back to all these Switch games and kind of, like, complete them in full. Because I feel like I didn't get a fair shake at Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition. And that one, I think, is the most worthwhile Switch 2 edition because it is just additional DLC. So if we if we're going to look at our slate of Thursdays, right, this is just leading us throughout the rest of the year. And I imagine Metroid Prime 4 Beyond will be the final release of the year. We don't know but now, oh, actually, wait, I'm going to hold off because there's something we have to get into. We'll get to that. Again, I'm going in timeline order. Whatever day it is, it's the, wait, no, not that. It will have been like the 13th or something. I saw this post and I was just ready to only talk about this post. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Valve, for the first time, tradition of more than a decade, they moved the autumn sale ahead of schedule. Notice that there is an unusually long gap between events November 18th and December 8th. What's interesting is also Valve has a list on there, or rather a page on Steam that has a list of Valve games, and it has the current, like, in development Deadlock, or I think Deadlock is like in beta or it's out or something, and there's another slot next to it that doesn't coincide with any other game they have announced or said, or there's something next to it. And I thought, this is November 9th. This is actually before the last week's pod. I thought, okay, we can just talk about this. I wonder what Valve is going to do. And then all of a sudden, while I was streaming, I got a Valve notification November 12th for the Steam hardware announcement. Now, if either of you had the opportunity to, have you heard about this at the very least?
Yeah, I looked into this one, and it does look very interesting, I will
Valve
say.
console. So I'm going to skip ahead a
Do
little
you
bit.
own a Steam Deck?
I do own a Steam Deck. And I also, last year for the Halloween video, bought a Valve Index, which is not, it's not
I'm
cheap.
so sorry.
It's also fucking real cumbersome to set up, and now they're announcing this, which is a lot more sleek. And I know that the Valve Index is the best VR headset, and it's like the most powerful one, but I feel like that's, if Valve wants to be in the console market, and maybe I'm just being like a filthy console nerd, right?
Right.
I know that, like, fans of PC gaming and Steam won't agree per se, but if they do want to break into, like, compete in the console market or compete with anything really, I think convenience and ease of access should probably take priority over power. And I know that's a contentious thing, but this being just these controllers, just this headset, and just, like, I guess plugging in a USB, I don't think it'll be less powerful than the Valve Index. It might be exactly the same amount of powerful from, like, a couple years back in 2020. But the fact that it's just more sleek and more convenient, I want to get it. Because the issue with the Valve Index
I
is
agree.
I had to remove, I mean, you already have to remove everything from your room, but I had to, like, prop a bunch of books on top of each other because the little cameras that look at the headset have to be, like, up and looking down at you, and I have, like, 3 different USBs plugged into my computer tower so I can play the Valve Index. It was just a mess altogether, and like I said, I bought it last year. I guess I gotta get this. So they had 3 announcements. They did say 3 more announcements, right? Did they say anything about the Steam Deck? I think it was just this controller.
Well, they said that they're not going to do a Steam Deck sequel until they are able to have the usage or something.
Okay. So how do you feel about the Steam Deck? Because I also have feelings.
I like it. I feel like I should use it more because it
I
really
always
is
feel
like the
that.
ultimate machine.
Yeah.
That being said, the fact that I still can't play GTA 5 on it is a little dumb, but that's not really Steam's
can't?
fault. That's more
That's the
Rockstar.
main thing, and that's why, because like we want to gather a bunch of people to play GTA Online on December 21st, because that's when it snows, and obviously we're playing GTA every week on stream. That I also like grinded out GTA Online, because say what you will about GTA Online, but at least you can, like, all the DLC they add, at least you can earn in game, like, without spending any money. It's grindy, but you can earn it. So I would grind out GTA Online on my Steam Deck, and then when Expanded and Enhanced came out, they implemented a Battle Eye anti-cheat that you have to download to play on Steam. And when you're playing on the PC, it's fine. It just auto-downloads it. But the Steam Deck runs
Does it not
off
work
of
on Linux?
Yeah, which isn't compatible with Battle Eye.
Dude, even I'm having that issue because I finally, get submitted to the system and got Windows 11 on my main computer.
Nice.
And like I think I was having an issue with like some old anti-cheat software I had installed from years ago, like not working, and I was getting a bunch of alarms, and it was like so fucking annoying to deal with. So yeah, I imagine like with Linux. Well, yeah, I mean, because a common thing on Steam now that I think about it, is like you have the client for the game, but you have to log into like an external third party like digital distributions thing to even play it. Like for example, like I have Mass Effect. You have to log into your EA bullshit to even play those games.
Yeah.
So I mean, I imagine there might be some issues with that with the Steam Deck.
I haven't run into any issues with that, but I guess I haven't played like a bunch of those games. I know that you can't like... It does have a browser mode, but you can't do as much. Hypothetically, I have figured out a way to run emulators on the Steam Deck, so it's not impossible. But also this, like, being built on top of the Steam controller as a whole. Like, I think Valve can competitively compete in these markets, in the VR market, in the console market, even in the handheld console market. However, I have an Xbox One controller plugged into my PC right now. And I know everyone has their favorite, right? Your Switch, your PlayStation, your Xbox, or whatever. I don't know anyone that plays PC games with a controller that's like, oh, no, I gotta get the Steam controller. Because there's always a better alternative. This is just their price.
It's a weird design. It's a lot of people seem mixed on it. I think I had a friend who really swore by it, but
what was the upswing? What was the upside?
Well, I guess the idea is that the weird trackpad things, like they offer a little bit more precision for like aiming than joysticks would, which probably might be true, but I don't know. I mean, there's also the argument for gyro stuff like that.
I mean,
I don't know.
If you're getting to that point, you might as well just use a mouse.
That's another thing I would say, is that it's like, I mean, I guess theoretically there's like this use case where people imagine where you can have like your Steam machine, which is like a certain kind of gaming PC console they had for a while. They're probably not doing it anymore, especially with this new stuff coming out that I know people would play on. And like the idea, I actually also have a Steam Link, which is a thing that you could hook up to your computer and like emulate or like host games on your TV from your computer, stuff like that. Yeah. And I guess the idea with that is that you can kind of play games that you normally would only play on PC, at the TV desk or at the TV station or whatever. And it would be a little bit better for like games that require like aim and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I maybe I just never got in the habit. It just seems like a little bit too far out of like my normal way of playing that I never really picked it up.
Mm-hmm. Well, that seems to be the main thing I've heard about, like, what we're seeing now is the Steam console, this Steam machine, that I've seen people say, like, why would you buy this when you could just play PC games on the TV? You could just plug it into your TV. But I feel like this is made specifically for me because, I mean, the people, you guys in the call right now can see how many tabs I have open for this show.
Yes.
And also Photoshop.
Yummy RAM.
Right.
You have a greedy
ass. When I'm playing like
Mm-hmm.
Grand Theft Auto on stream, when I have Streamlabs and Chrome and the game open, I can't do anything lest my computer explode. So the fact that I can have a separate thing that runs Steam games that I can lead through a capture card, I know that's like a stupid reason to buy an entire console, but also I just love Valve. Also, well, we'll get into it. How do you guys feel about this Steam console as a concept?
You mean the Gabe Cube?
Yeah, the Gabe Cube.
It's
I'm
weird.
still
I mean,
kind of confused what it is exactly. I guess.
It's an Ouya.
What is
I think
it?
it just runs your Steam games, and you could plug it into HDMI into your. But no, we're seeing it at the keyboard, at the computer here. Maybe it just is a computer, like it just has your games.
yeah, you
on
could
it.
probably.
Okay, but they
use
also
it as a
said
computer.
so. They also said the frame is a computer, which is interesting.
Desktop.
Like I don't get what they meant by that. Like, what do you mean the frame is a computer? Does that mean
Like
I don't need
the
a computer?
faceplate?
No, the frame is the VR.
Oh. Well, I think the
So
the VR and the console are separate, but you probably can use them together.
no, what I mean is like, do I even need a computer if I buy a Steam frame? Like, can I just use the Steam frame and access my Steam games from the Steam frame?
Ooh, maybe. I mean, ideally,
Because that is
right?
like that is a big win for me right there. Like, if that price is under like, is in like the $400 to $500 range, even then, like 500 is a little expensive, but like 400 to like, depending on what it is, like that is a really good.
They said at some point that it's going to be competitively like lower than other current consoles, but I guess it depends. Like if they consider the
That's
Switch
not
2
good.
a modern console,
that's not a good that's not a good indicator because
well, that's what I'm
they
saying.
keep
is, like,
rising prices.
the lowest one is the Switch 2, which is at 500. Is it still like just the Switch 2?
Yeah, it's still 500.
Yeah, so if it's like 500, they said PC prices. Oh, so cheaper than a PC. Okay, so like $1,000.
Bad. Oh,
That's
good.
rough.
Good.
I mean, I was thinking
Great.
about for Christmas giving my roommate a Steam Deck because like he can't play Steam games with us because he doesn't have a proper computer. And I was like, oh, maybe I get the console instead and wait. But now I'm not so sure. We're seeing a lot about the VR headset.
I like how he's plugging it into a Mac. I like
Yeah.
how they chose a Mac specifically.
It proves that it can run.
It's
on
like,
anything.
well, damn. I guess anyone can play.
I remember when Half-Life Alyx first came out that I jailbroke my Oculus, my Facebook Oculus, to run it through like a USB cord. But because it was streaming from my computer to my headset, it was like one frame behind, which doesn't sound bad. But when you're in VR, it's nauseating.
Oh no.
And we have
it sounds really
they're coming out
annoying.
with this new console. What's interesting about Valve hardware is they don't have exclusives per se. Like every game they release you can play on Steam. But what they do have are launch titles. So the Valve Index came out a lot. I don't know, like Surgeon. We never got past like Rick and Morty levels. Like it never got better. But Half-Life Alyx, I think, is the peak of that. And not only is it a perfect tech demo for how the headset works, but also, you know, a fully fledged game. Whereas Aperture Desk Job, which you have to play on the Steam Deck, and you know it comes along with the Steam Deck, is more of like an Astro's Playroom or like a Wii Sports. Like it is sort of built around teaching you how it works while also being a game. It's interesting that they're two most popular series, I would argue. I don't know, maybe TF2 is more popular than Portal, but I don't think so.
I don't think they even know they own TF2.
That they have tie-in games for these new pieces of hardware. Their Steam Deck and their Valve Index. Now they have a new Valve. You're saying the headset's called the Valve Screen?
Valve Frame.
Valve Frame. Sorry. Valve Frame and the Gabe Cube, right? That people think potentially we could be getting a new Valve game. Like we said earlier, that there is an open list for where a new Valve game could be. I want to see the faceplates of this again. If we go a little bit farther back. Okay, I've gone too far back, I think. I made a mistake. I want to see the one with all the stickers on it, the custom faceplate. Did I not go far back enough? Maybe I didn't. Is it? Yeah, this one. If we can go ahead and look at this faceplate. I'm going to stop here, right? A lot of stickers, right? A lot of them are Valve stickers or branded stickers or just kind of generic art. But there's also this one here that has an H, and then to the side of it, it's censored. And above it, it says soon TM.
Oh yeah, okay, interesting.
Yeah, you notice something like that? Where's the keyboard? There's a keyboard later as well. I don't know if I'll be able to find that exactly. But there's a keyboard where one of the keys is replaced with the Half-Life logo. Something like that. So, I'm gonna, for the sake of argument, I'll be the crazy one here today. I'll be the tinfoil hat guy. Let's cover only people that we could probably trust. Here we go over here. This is Mike Shapiro, the voice of G-Man in all of the previous Half-Life games. His last tweet was December 31st, 2024, which was hashtag Valve, hashtag Half-Life, hashtag G-Man, and hashtag 2025. Now, this came off the tails of the Half-Life 2 20-year documentary. Or no, 15-year? It was something like that. When did Half-Life 2 come out? It must have been like 2005 then. Yeah, I think 20 year.
20, yeah.
So that could just be built on top of that. You know, we don't know what hashtag 2025 means. It could mean anything. This is Tyler Hype Merchant McVicker. He is trusted in the Valve community specifically, as he was the person who's been following the specific like data mining aspect of it. And he was early on like leaking Half-Life VR when it was just called Half-Life VR before it was called Half-Life Alyx. And he's been reporting for a long time on a game called HLX. Now, there's been speculation and discourse about this. Huh? Oh yeah, we're skipping
Half-Life 10.
Once again,
yeah, like iPhone or Windows.
Date. We know Half-Life X or HLX is a real thing, but we do not have an announcement date. I repeat, we do not have an announcement date because people keep misquoting him. I don't know if it will happen, but everyone is saying that they want the announcement to occur before the end of 2025. I'm not able to confirm anything, however, I also cannot debunk this. Stay realistic, stay reasonable, have fun. So he's been...
Tomorrow to tell his fans so often.
Yeah, not like damage control, but obviously people are quoting him and being like, dude, this insider said this thing. And he's like, okay, well, hold on, I didn't say that. So this is Tyler Hype Merchant McVicker. This is Gabe Follower, another known content creator and data miner who is followed by some people I know, some mutuals, but also some, not industry insiders, but games journalists, right? We start all the way back from November 12th, after the announcement date of the Steam machine. Where did I just leave off? Valve confirmed that it's not currently working on a new first-party VR game. A member of the Steam France team denied that there is any VR content in development. Here you go. Another confirmation that HLX, HL3, is not a VR game, but I wonder what happened with the rumored VR demos for Steam Frame. We saw Valve officially announce Steam Frame, streaming first. Streaming first? I didn't catch that at first. Standalone VR headset that's launching in early 2026, while the company is aiming to make your existing Steam library more valuable. It naturally raised the question following 2020's Half-Life Alyx, is Valve developing a new VR game? So we know from the rest of this that it's probably no. If we're going upwards, we see expect nothing and you won't be disappointed. And above that, Half-Life 3 will be announced tomorrow. 2, if nothing happens, read the first part again. So every day we'll just come back and say like, oh, it will be tomorrow. This
like Deltarune.
I couldn't find the actual, this is just like a live stream, and I couldn't quite pin down when it was. Insider Gaming, Insider Gaming, Tom Henderson. I don't know the name, but I guess it sounds important. Big announcement for a big game in the next few weeks for a March 2026 release. Can't say just yet, but a lot of people looking forward to it, discussing the Steam machine. This announcement won't be at the Game Awards. Okay, no, it is at 3523, so I don't know a whole lot about it. This person, however, is the senior editor for Inside Gaming. So if we can go ahead and use our Control F by scrolling down to... Or did it get rid of it? Also, people are talking about SpongeBob. New SpongeBob comes out.
I was going to say, yeah, there's new SpongeBob tomorrow.
I'm going to play it tomorrow, yeah. Or I'm at least going to try and finish Cosmic Shake tomorrow. But I have like 6-hour streams now, so I can't imagine it'll take that long. Is it? Oh, man, come on. How far down is this guy? Tweets every hour? I got to find it. Or has the tweet been deleted? Oh, wait.
Yeah, you're on like November 11th now.
Yeah, wait. Maybe it was deleted. It's a tweet that said something big is happening. Okay, well, I guess it's gone. Either because that was bullshit and he was just like, you know, stoking the flames, or it was about something else and people are misappropriating it. But while we're misappropriating, this is Mike Moriskei, a music designer at Valve, who said, a big week in reference to these consoles coming out. The thing is, this was only announced on a day, so we're still within the week, technically. Well, I guess we're starting a new week. Regardless, Don't forget, Valve named this crowbar model Crowbar 3 on the Half-Life website, and is not the same crowbar model from Half-Life 1 or Half-Life 2. This was for the 20th anniversary last year. Okay, no, so it was 2004, so 2024. Got it. It's known in the code as Crowbar 3. And if we're already wearing our tinfoil hats and doing insane tricks on it, here's a post on 4chan from, September 6th. I just brain farted. September 6th of this year. Run, think, shoot, live. Let me zoom out a little bit because I think our characters are covering it. November 18th. Project lead Robin Walker. Development time 2019 to 2026. I would believe it's probably after VR instead of prior to it. Developer count approximately 95. Engine source 2. Release date Q1 2026, and the platform is Windows, Linux, and Steam OS, which could line up with what we're seeing about the Steam console. Now, do you guys have any thoughts about Half-Life 3 being announced this week? I just thought we should get ahead of it, just in case.
I want to be hopeful. Though admittedly, I don't know, like with Steam, I just don't know. With Valve, I just don't know. Like Valve is like a black box to me.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I have like, you know, to be honest, you know, I haven't played a lot of the games recently, but I remember as a kid, when the Meet Your Match update was coming to TF2, that was an update that I made the mistake of being excited for. And I was like looking forward to it coming out, and I was kind of like checking up with rumors and news every single day, and it was driving me fucking crazy doing that.
But that's so fun though. I love that. I love a speculation sphere.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. That's like changing my ability. I feel like I have a hard time commenting on this because I just don't know.
Well, that's why I'll bear this cross. I'll be the one. I'll pretend that 100%
what I'll say though, what I will say though, you know, now that you think about this, I feel like Half-Life 3 hasn't been talked about as if it's like a thing that's never gonna happen this past year. You know what I mean? I feel like there's I feel like there's like a sign there. Like there's enough rumors that people are kind of, I feel like people are conditioned to think it's possible right now in a way they haven't, you know, in the past 10 years, you know, 15 years even. Gosh.
Well, that's my thing, is that like in the 2010s, I guess that was like right after, but like you know, that's the meme in the 2010s is Half-Life 3 confirmed. But as of like the 20s, like releasing Half-Life Alyx, which is a new Half-Life game, even though it's a VR game, in 2020, and then Aperture Desk Job in, was it 23 for the Steam Deck? Whenever that came out, that they're not opposed to it. They're not opposed to going back to those properties to sell a new piece of hardware. But my thing is, if Half-Life 3 comes out, it's not going to be exclusive to the Steam machine. It's just going to be on Steam. And maybe console even. Like, do you think if they do release it, if they do announce it, that it would be exclusive to that GameCube?
That's a good question. I mean, because I feel like with Alyx, they were able to use it. Like, they were able to make it exclusive in a way they could get away with. Right. They probably would have a hard time doing that with Half-Life 3. So
for Aperture Desk Job, where like it had to be played on the Steam Deck. Unless there's some feature about this cube that we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think like, I highly doubt there's going to be something. I highly doubt they're going to have like a good reason for making it completely like one console only. They might still do it, but I don't think they'll have a good reason for it other than just, you know, money.
Sure. I mean, that would be, I mean, I think people would be mad. But I don't think it's like anti-consumer to have exclusives for your console. But I still don't think they would do it. Because I don't mind them as much.
I think just nowadays there's like a certain expectation among consumers that it's just, I feel like it's harder to get away, especially when like, you know, Half-Life 1 and 2 are as accessible as they are. I feel like if they tried to make Half-Life 3 really hard to get your hands on, like people are gonna be mad about that. I don't.
Especially
it might
Valve
affect
and
sales.
Steam fans. Yeah, PC gamers are very, very particular. We've been seeing a lot of.
That's another element.
We'll get into Game Award nominees soon, but you know, Game Awards always says like, oh, it's the anniversary of this thing, and it could be nothing. But I feel like predominantly, if we go past all the nominations, which we'll get to at the end, maybe we'll lock in our guesses, even though the Game Awards is a while away. or at least talk about it. That I'm scrolling a lot. We got a lot of nominees here. Go even farther. Oh yeah, now we have again the blurriest images of Link and Zelda. I don't know where they're being sourced from. Probably from the fucking Nintendo Today app. But it seems like most of the things they've been covering as
Very
of late,
funny if that's the
Left 4
case.
Dead was first released 16 years ago by Valve. Still scrolling. Oh yeah, here we go. Half-Life 2 was first released 21 years ago today by Valve Software. Thank you, Valve. We got Halo in there. We got the Xbox. That was my thing, is that I've been doing this thing on stream called Pokemonth. I'm like, oh yeah, because Pokemon games always come out in November. But honestly, November is such a hot date for like a holiday game. You could really pick any game series and be like, oh yeah, they always come out in November. That's what PBT did with Zelda. Like, I don't think it's particular to that. Granted, I was scrolling earlier, I mean, while we were talking even, and this was posted today at 3 p.m. Go check out hashtag Game Awards nominee page on Steam to celebrate the guest of the year. We'll notice here in the screenshot, I feel like I'm goddamn smiling friends. He has one game on his wish list and one game on his cart. Just thought that was worth mentioning. Sorry, continue your point about exclusivity.
I think now especially because Steam, I don't want to. No, I feel like the ethos of Steam has always been very pro-consumer, at least in a way a lot of other developers aren't. And I think that, like, you know, at least historically, I feel like Steam players, there's been a certain philosophy that, oh, we're not like other game developers. Excuse me, I need to sneeze. Give me 1 second.
No worries. I will say, while you're sneezing, it's kind of serendipitous that last week I said that my favorite companies, at least when it comes to like quality of games, was Rockstar, Nintendo, and Valve. And I was saying that in reference to GTA getting delayed. And now we might have a new Valve game. Potentially, of course. Hypothetically.
What a crazy timeline.
Potentially.
Yeah. Well, I guess we had to, Monkey's Paw Curls, we had to delay Grand Theft Auto. I got a Google alert the other day that said GTA has been delayed again. I'm like, what? And I checked it. It's just like an article from a couple days ago, but I thought it got delayed even further, like to 2027.
Like, come on, man. I need the like real scoop.
The night before Half-Life 3. Well, if we just say, I wanted to lock it in this week just in case something does happen, and if it doesn't, then I'll just keep saying it every week.
Which Half-Life should I play first? Should I play 1 first?
You don't have to. I mean, if you have a lot of time, then sure. But I think you could just start with 2.
Okay, that's good to know. Because yeah, and I've always wondered about that. You know, I have like a disposition to not start with sequels, but you know, a lot of times, you know, just start with the fucking sequel. You know.
I mean, you should start with Portal 1 and 2. I think that you go from there.
Oh yeah, Portal 1 and 2.
Right.
I mean, because Portal 1 is short. You know, you can beat that in like 3-4
Yeah, Portal
hours.
1's like,
even on your first
get that done
playthrough,
in
so
like
it's
a
like,
day.
You can just watch.
So like it's.
Dan, do you have any thoughts about the potential of Half-Life 3?
I played like 10 minutes of Half-Life 2, and that is my experience with Half-Life. I get the hype. I'm not really part of the hype, but I think that's cool if there is a Half-Life 3.
Okay.
My thing is also, I think we're at this point where there's Twitter is a very different place than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I just think like so many people online now aren't the same people who, or the ones that show up a lot aren't the same ones who hype up Half-Life 3 or did hype up Half-Life 3. So even if it is Half-Life 3 being announced, I can't imagine it breaking the internet as much as it should.
No, but like I'm not a fake fan because I've played a little bit of it, but this does feel like, I don't know, like wanting Gino in Smash, where I've heard it enough that I'm like, oh yeah, this is fun, where I never played the game. You know, Earthbound fans playing their first Earthbound game. That there are people I've been watching for so long talking about it, like Valve News Network, who came back to talk about this. Or this one channel that people discovered that's like been doing daily Half-Life 3 updates, and every day it's just like, yeah, there's no update, no nothing. But like over the last week or so, it's been a couple things that it's just fun to see. Even if it doesn't happen, it's been fun to see this Half-Life community come together. However, do you guys know the release date of the original Half-Life?
I feel like it's a December date.
I do not know.
It's actually, I mean, you're close. It's November 19th.
Oh.
Which is 2 days from now, I believe.
Imagine
So-
if they were that stupid. They just like shadow drop Half-Life 3.
That's what I'm saying. They're just like, it's out now. Just go play it. Half-Life.exe. Download it from my Google Drive. I mean, we'll know when we come back here in a week, or I guess maybe we won't know, because they're not gonna come out and say, no, we're not doing Half-Life 3. If it's nothing, then there'll just be no information. However, there's been a lot of different sources. The one consistently circulated piece of information is that it specifically won't be revealed at the Game Awards. Like, almost everyone has said it won't be at the Game Awards. And I think that's interesting to point out, because if you were, a bogus leaker just trying to throw something together, you'd probably just say, like, oh, no, it'll be a Game Awards reveal. But it's specific that it's not.
Yeah.
Unless it's, like, revealed ahead of that, and then we see...
I was going to say, did they say it's not going to be revealed, or did they say it's not going to be there?
Revealed at the Game Awards.
So that could mean it could be revealed before the Game Awards.
Yes.
And they do like
That
a second
could be the
trailer at the
case.
Game Awards or something.
Yeah. That's definitely possible. It's entirely possible. Well, that's how I feel. I've allowed myself to get excited, because I think I said this in the Smash video. When I was like young adult, teenager, I was like, I'm only believing stuff if it's true, right? I'm digging into all of it. And it's fair as a game journalist perspective, which I'm pretending I am. You do have to be skeptical, and I am. Like logistically, I don't know. But I think if I choose to believe it, it's just more fun, specifically in doing this show. So I choose to believe that it's 100% true, and the game will be revealed on Wednesday, and then it'll be shown off further at the Game Awards. What was the big game they showed off at the end of the Game Awards last year? It was that Naughty Dog game, right? That we didn't hear anything about?
It was Okami and Naughty Dog, yeah.
Right, we saw the Okami logo. Forgot. Well, we're going to transition from this game to an even more thrilling game. We have a lot of stuff this week. That we got a Mario Galaxy Direct. We have this new Steam Valve hardware announcement. And we also got, for whatever reason, an extended trailer for Pokemon Pokopia. Now, I already had my, not reservations, but like opinions formed about this when we first saw it in the Direct. So I didn't think there was anything that they could show us here that would like fully change my mind, right? They do this little, I'm not going to call it the Breath of the Wild shot, but they do the pan up where they show everything. And there's a lot of a character talking to you in this, but I mean, from this bit, we see this new character. And I think it's fun to have alternate versions of Pokemon within the crossovers, right? That don't appear in the mainline, or not crossovers, in the spin-off material. So this, that we meet, a lot of the Direct is our Ditto character, or the playable Ditto character, meeting this Professor Tangrowth character. I believe this is... Yeah, this. Professor Tangrowth. This is what Professor Tangrowth looks like. And it's narrated predominantly by Professor Tangrowth, right? I can't turn off captions, so they have to be stuck down there. I guess who speaks English, and she's, like, explaining everything. What we learned throughout this Direct is that we're sort of in, like... It seems like a post-apocalyptic Pokemon world. We saw in the initial Direct that our Ditto modeled themselves after their trainer that was kind of cut off in frame. And what's interesting about that original Direct is, maybe we could see it here as well, that when they look at this Pokedex, this is specifically the Pokemon Center from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, like built on top of that. And here we see,
that's interesting,
this decrepit world. I want to see if I can get, the way it looks here. Is it Toby that said it? Yeah, I think, wait. Yeah, it is Toby. Shout out Birdkeeper, Birdkeeper Toby. And we see this screenshot and this screenshot of potentially a disaster-ridden Fuchsia City. Something has happened. And that's what Tangrowth is saying throughout this, that like, oh yeah, humans aren't like around anymore really. And they never really delve into what that means. But we learned the basic mechanics. Well, first of all, did either of you take a look at this extended trailer yet?
No.
No, not really.
That's fair. But we see a lot more Pokemon here. I don't think it's worth going into like other mainline Pokemon games where we're like, oh, we have to look to see which one is. But we knew from the early September Direct that you unlock abilities to customize your area from certain Pokemon. Here we see the tending the soil and the destroying blocks from a Hitmonchan and a Drillbur, and then we see we can cut down wood with Scyther. I think here is when it really opens up. This is the thing where I'm like, I was totally wrong about this game. Not that it's for sure going to be great, but we learned that Ditto can transform into the likes of Lapras and we see it moving freely in the water, and also
That's
transform into Dragonite and move. And we see how
Oh,
much
that's cute.
larger the world is this way. We saw comparisons to Animal Crossing, but it honestly seems more like it's their answer to Minecraft, maybe?
Yeah, I've seen that comparison as well.
Inheriting the earth after humans go. Something worth bringing up later. We'd see even further customization, right? Like, I mean, this, specifically seeing this, right? Because I thought early on, like, oh, it's going to be like an Animal Crossing game. But the fact that you can build up here, I think it's like a third-person Minecraft. And honestly, like, Pokemon Minecraft is not a terrible idea. It seems like almost all of these Pokemon, or most of the Pokemon give you abilities, but they could just have a bunch of them visit your town or show up. And I was worried early on that it was only going to be Kanto Pokemon. I'm glad it isn't. I don't assume that they will have, like, all of them. But I think it would be nice to have, if we're associating the game with Animal Crossing, like, you could have a village of, like, your 6 or 10 favorite Pokemon or something. Oh, yeah, you do rebuild the Pokemon Center here. So something has happened to this world of Pokemon. This happy-go-lucky world of Pokemon. And also, as we were mentioning before, okay, the photo mode, that every modern Nintendo game must have. I like this, that you can have multiple different Pokemon in the frame. I mean, this is more than 6. This is a more dedicated photo mode, or a better photo mode, than ZA has. And here we can see the customization of our character. That actually goes a lot deeper. The more I saw this, I'm like, okay, now I understand it a little bit. This extended trailer is selling me on this. These interiors, I think it's like Pokemon Animal Crossing Pokemon Animal Crossing Minecraft, and multiplayer with different people like this. I think this is going to be a lot more fun than I initially thought. Because I was initially like, yeah,
the only thing that's
fucking
fucking me up is how goofy the player character is.
Well, you're playing a Ditto that's pretending to be a human.
It's like one of those like stupid Dittos that doesn't know how to fix their face.
Share. Okay, hold on. Games received via game share can only be played during that game share session. Up to 2 players can play via game share simultaneously. System must initiate
The
game
DS
share
download
session.
play kind of thing.
Yeah, I want to know if you can. Do you play as the other person? Like, can you play as another Ditto, or do you have to be like Pauline throwing rocks? Well, I guess if it's game share with, okay, you can game share with the Switch 1. But to what degree? Can you run around as a character? I mean, we're seeing multiplayer here, but this could just be a trick. I think this could be fun. If I could get this game and then game share with a bunch of people and build an island together, I think that's a fun series in and of itself. Do you guys have any strong feelings having seen more about Pokemon Pokopia?
It looks cute. I mean, I'm definitely intrigued by it.
Yeah, I mean, as a fan of Animal Crossing and Pokemon and Minecraft, I feel like I'm going to dedicate so much time to this. Or I might just have my own account where I do it. Then we see the big sweeping. What I'm getting at is that the game is a lot bigger than I initially thought. And then we see this little post-credits area, because we just saw Professor Tangrowth, and we see a paint-covered Smeargle, which isn't that different of a design. It just happens to have stuff on him. Like, it just is Smeargle with stuff smeared all over him. But if we jump ahead a little bit, I don't want to jump to... Yeah, this guy. This is a new variant of Pikachu for the game. This is Pikachu.
Is that like I love its tiny ass tail. So is it like not like a regional form? Is it just a new Pokemon? I don't know. It's kind of messing with me.
It's a different form. And we also have this, the big guy. This moss covered. Okay, well that's Smeargle Painter. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead. Yeah. A Snorlax variant. Oh, this is Mosslax. Yeah, they have entirely new names. I also saw people doing bits like, man, they showed off official material and renders for this game faster than they did for Legend ZA. I imagine there'll be... I mean, if the purpose of the game is you meet Pokemon and then they teach you abilities, I can assume where Smeargle Painter comes in. But Pikachu and Mosslax on top of Professor... Because Professor Tangrowth is our tutorial character. What do you think what is the purpose of Pikachu? I guess is what I'm asking you guys. What
I have no fucking idea.
Does this serve?
I can't think of one.
Dan, any theories on Pikachu?
I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea what this is supposed to like represent.
Is it like a ghost Pikachu? Is it like a... Because Mosslax I get, right? I do like, and I appreciate that spin-off material like this. This game is developed by Koei Tecmo, I believe, that they're willing, or maybe Pokemon has been less restrictive, that they're willing to let them make different forms of Pokemon that probably won't show up in official like card material or the anime or like the video games, other video games, but maybe like a plush, maybe. Glad they're allowing it to stretch out a little bit more. It's
Yeah.
it's seeing new Pokemon, I guess. It's technically new or more new forms than ZA had. But at the end of this trailer, yeah, sorry. Oh, you can receive an in-game Ditto rug if you purchase it early. And you have
hell
until,
yeah.
you have until January 2027 to claim it. This game comes out March 26th. So, do you notice anything interesting about this image we're currently looking at?
Game key card RP.
Yeah.
It's the ratings pending.
Yeah,
this might be a rated T game. Might be a rated R game.
I saw people saying is like, we see that the game is a lot bigger than we thought. Not like open world, but I don't know, maybe something akin to like early Minecraft where you can go around an entire area. And now we have the reveal that this is actually a game key card game. What's the deal with game key cards is that they're not actually on the card. It just allows you to download
Yeah, they're not on the card. You have to download them.
Right. So the purpose is that the game is, what, too big for a game key card? This is
or they're just too lazy to produce cartridges, and
Well, I mean,
or not
you
too
still
lazy.
get
It's
the
just not
cartridge.
financially feasible.
Mm.
You
But-
do? I thought this was like.
No, it comes with
I thought
the
like
card.
game key cards, you like get a code and you just redeem it for a.
No. That's
physical card.
code in box. You still get a card, but you have to download it. The card is basically empty.
Dude, it's so. They make it so confusing.
Also,
there's
you
three
can't play it
different
without the
versions.
card.
Okay, so this is
first-
different from like the digital, like virtual cards, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So, also, I think this is our first. I know it's not developed by Nintendo, but this is our first, like, I guess you could say first-party game key card game, because I think Nintendo specifically has been having their games on the actual card, where the download codes that people have been complaining about have mainly just been third-party outings. Like, even when they're ports of games that probably could run on Switch too. But we have the game keycard announcement, and we have the release date as well. It's interesting that the first Switch 2 exclusive Pokemon game is a spin-off, like how the first Switch 1 exclusive Pokemon game, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu was also a spin-off game. Granted, it's a more traditional turn-based RPG, but it is a spin-off nevertheless. If we could jump back over to this Thursday guide, I've created another guide just in case, that what we know about the releases for next year, for 2026. Now we know that Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch 2 Edition comes out in January. Mario Tennis Fever comes out in February. Adjust that a little bit. Oh, I made the cardinal sin of moving something while on stream. And now we know Pokemon Pokopia comes out March 5th. We have vague time frames for Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 Edition. These are all, I think, spring 2026, but we don't have as solid of a release date as we have for these. So the March 5th release date for Pokemon Pokopia, I think, was revealed in that extended trailer, and it wasn't in the initial September Direct. So now we have 3 Switch 2 games, like games for the Switch 2, that we have release dates for. Where would you place these games if they are in spring? And spring ends about, like, what, March 20th, maybe?
That's when spring begins.
Oh. Okay, my mistake. So these are coming out in winter, then. These first 3 are winter. So then spring is March 20th to June 20th, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
I guess we could space these out if these are counting as, like, major Nintendo releases. Because what we're looking at now, the Thursday guide, this we had to wait for the end of the year to get, like, oh, there's a new thing every week. Because for a while, there wasn't anything new. Like, we had a dry spell after the Switch 2 came out for a little bit, like, between the launch and Bonanza. So I don't think it's far off to say that maybe, I don't know, maybe Animal Crossing Switch 2 Edition isn't the only game because it's not its own, like, unique package, but it is only January, and January is released where they released Donkey Kong Country Returns HD this year, which I totally forgot about, and that's just a port of a Wii game. You know, nobody's buying games in January except for Legends Arceus, I suppose. But I assume that these might be what we get for each individual month. Like, this is the January release, this is the February, this is March. Maybe April, May, June, or maybe April, May, June, and then we get hopefully more substantial releases. But also, I have to assume we're going to get a direct in February as well. So what do you guys think about our lineup for 2026 so far? I'm just over these first 3 games as far as winter goes.
I'm not that excited for the Animal Crossing update. I'm not excited for Mario Tennis Fever.
What the hell, man? It's tennis. You don't fuck with tennis?
It's like $70. I don't know.
Yeah.
I also just don't have friends, you know?
Yeah, same.
Like, then Pokopia. Pokopia, like, I'm kind of, like, just kind of curious about, but it's not anything that I'm, like, really that excited for. Yoshi, I doubt it's going to be like that much more interesting than most other Yoshi games, not to be like a Debbie Downer. I am excited for Tomodachi Life 2. I think that's going to be really cool.
That's probably the
I'm
big
excited
one from this.
Yeah, I'm also excited for Wonder, the Wonder expansion, but altogether, you know, I think the game that I'm like actually counting down the days is probably Tomodachi Life 2. I'm excited to kind of like go, you know, just that game's just fun to play. The original one is super fun. It's kind of cool to have it back. So.
I mean, there are other releases we know about, like Rhythm Heaven coming out in 2026. I believe there were other announcements, like just the vague Amorphous 2026. I'm trying to scroll and find them. I don't know why it's not working right now. Hold on, wait. Or, I mean, continue while I look for it. It's about right. Yeah, here we go. We know, yeah, Rhythm Heaven Groove, Splatoon Raiders, and Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Remember when they announced that new Fire Emblem? And we all reacted accordingly?
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I forgot about Splatoon Raiders too.
Yeah, so did they. We haven't heard anything more about it. I feel like because of when it was announced, Splatoon Raiders could be an earlier 2026 release. Like they just maybe in the February direct, they're like, oh yeah, it's coming out in a month.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because it is a spin-off. I mean, it's more similar to Splatoon than this is to Pokemon, but I'm gonna leave off exactly. Okay, so this is a smaller thing. It's not a huge story. However, you know, I went back to Valve. I went back to these Mega Evolutions. If I'm referencing myself, there have been things I brought up on the show on Switch 2 Ultra featuring Dan before. And one I said, because when we were speculating what the big Mario announcement was going to be for Mario's anniversary, and they released Mario Legos, and I said, man, I hate these Mario Legos because you build Mario. I want a minifigure. That we were teased a Zelda set by Nintendo of America utilizing an actual Link minifigure. And, you know, I'm probably not going to get it because Legos are expensive. But I'm happy that this is happening at all because worst case scenario, for something I'm not going to buy anyway, is a Lego Link that isn't a minifigure that you have to physically build. I've always hated Legos like that. Even as a kid, I never really got into Bionicle because they weren't minifigures.
I relate with that.
I will say I did buy the Game Boy Lego, and that was actually a lot of fun to build.
I mean, that makes sense, though, because that is a build. I don't want to build Mario. I want to have a little... Because when I was dreaming up of Mario Legos as a kid, I'm like, oh, he's like my little minifigure next to my SpongeBob and next to my Luke Skywalker. All of those things. Actually, what do I have in the note real quick? Let me write this down, or rather, let me look at it. Oh, right! Okay, so if we'll go back to our Thursday guide, we have speculation about what may come out the week of November 27th. But what we know is this podcast is leading into the end of the week where we will play... Well, I'm going to play Kirby Air Riders. Would you guys like to play Kirby Air Riders with us November 20th on Thursday?
I hope I can, but I might not be able to that day specifically.
Okay. It's going to be...
It really depends when I get the package, honestly.
Yeah. You were telling me this, that like you ordered it and it's going to come to your house. I remember when Switchy was here for the Switch 2 release that I was worried, like, oh man, I ordered it through Walmart. What if it like doesn't arrive throughout the day? So then I'm like, oh, I'll just buy it from the GameStop because they have them at GameStop, and then we'll exchange funds or whatever. But then it arrived before we even started streaming. Like the Walmart package arrived at like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So hopefully
with like
something like that.
Coke and chips.
Yeah. Oh yeah, free Coke and a free Pringle can. I forgot about that. What an eventful year it's been. Right, we have speculation about that week. Obviously, I'm going to be playing Kirby Air Riders for like 6 hours. So if there's any opportunity and you guys have that time, I'm going to try and get a bunch of people together. However, after that moment, after that week, the major game that we're leading up to is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Now, that game is still not out, and it won't release until December. However, I think that what's the story that some people have managed to have like had the opportunity to get their hands on Metroid Prime 4?
Yeah, for like early.
I think some
previews and
people have
whatnot.
like pre-release like demos or something like that.
Okay.
I said I love. He's such a good. Okay, never mind. You just play it. I'll make the comment. Everyone else
I
is
think
meaning.
you're gonna say that like
He's a good puppeteer. He's a good
so
puppeteer.
articulate while he's so.
I wonder how many takes that took. Because are there any like obvious cuts? There might be. He might have like zoomed out a little bit for a cut. Because I'm thinking like if this was all one take, like that's like insane.
I don't think this is scripted. I think he was going off and he just like he's good with the puppet. Or sorry, Arlo is the puppet, of course. There's some other guy around there maybe, but I didn't actually listen to the video. The video is learning about the news, right? The reports of Metroid Prime 4. So let me ask you, what have you guys heard about Metroid Prime 4 Beyond?
Okay, so the big controversy. Well, I remember hearing people be a little bit skeptical about the fact that like the bike. It's like what is this open world shit? I mean I mean, and to be honest, like I kind of get that. I'm not too worried about that specifically, but I kind of get it, at least in the sense of there's a way you used to traverse around Metroid worlds that this might be a little bit different, but I think you can still probably work it. But I think the big issue is this fucker on the screen.
Is our good friend Miles
and yeah, and the idea of having like a guy that makes quips and explores the planet with you is kind of a turnoff for a lot of people, including me. I'm very pessimistic about this.
That thing is, that's the only complaint I've heard is about Miles. Like I didn't hear about any of the other bike stuff. What the main thing that's been covering the airwaves and dominating the discussion has been Miles McKenzie. I've only heard that everyone who played it found him annoying and wishes he would shut up.
I haven't even played it, and I find him annoying and wish he would shut up.
Yeah, I did see some clips also. I guess that's just like, I don't know.
I'm not in the cubicle with Phil, so I'd see this as a complete win. It's like, dude, shut up.
Dude, shut up, dude, shut up.
Shut up, man, bro. God.
Man, how do you feel about our good friend Miles McKenzie? Oh, this bit. Go ahead. You go ahead first. Okay, I'll lead into this bit that like I forgot specifically utilizing Metroid Dread footage that I used this as an example in my original Portal video where I said Metroid Dread is really good at like utilizing that active storytelling, the game-based storytelling, that atmosphere. And the worst parts, or the parts I was annoyed by, at least when playing Metroid Dread, were the little cutscenes, like the little fight cutscenes. I'm like, oh, I wish I could just be fighting this thing right now. But this is like the perfect opposite. That it again, haven't played the game, so I don't know. I can't know until I get my hands on it. But what I've heard and what I've seen, it looks and sounds egregious. That this guy just does not shut up.
Yeah, and I heard people say that there's probably going to be more characters like him that you kind of have to team up with during certain sections. Dude, it's nuts. It's really nuts. It's.
So he's not.
I mean,
like it's not the same. It's not him the entire game.
It seems that there might be like other survivors or like I mean, I don't know my Metroid lore, but they're like other guys that you'll have to like save and kind of work with. But yeah, I'm glad you brought up the Pauline thing, because this seems to be a thing that Nintendo has kind of picked up as a habit, where you always need like a voice acted character that talks to you. You have that with Pauline, and I think Pauline's done pretty well. And they'll often give you advice, tell you what you should do, and crack jokes. It's sometimes cute, sometimes it's good. Teleport? Yeah, no,
you want teleport?
I think another example, I feel like one omen of this was actually the flowers in Mario Wonder, because they talk to you, they kind of give you advice. Sorry, what'd you say?
I thought you were gonna say Metroid Other M as like an omen.
No. Metroid Other M's its own bag of worms, but like you have these characters that kind of, it's similar to like Navi. They kind of give you advice, they tell you what to do, but now they talk, and now they're voice acted, and now they kind of talk during gameplay, which in some ways is kind of I would say an improvement over the old style where they trigger cutscenes every like 30 seconds. But it's I don't like it. You know, I think there's so much. Well, okay, I like it with Pauline. I like it with the Wonder Flowers, but this is not the kind of game that needs it. I feel like what people like about Metroid, at least historically, is kind of that it doesn't have stuff like this. You know, even like Metroid Prime 3, and it's not like that's a bad game, but you know, after playing 1 and 2, the fact that Prime 3 has like talking characters kind of is like a small turnoff to me. I love how much Metroid Prime 1 and 2 do through just like silence and visuals, you know, and I just like I think it should be kept to a minimum in Metroid. I think that's like one of the really cool things about the game series that I don't know. I mean, maybe they see it as a limitation, but I see it as something that's really special about it.
Metroid is built on off of atmosphere, and that's what I really like about it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Because that was the thing about scanning in Metroid Prime, right? Is that there isn't really a story, but you can choose to scan all these things and get all the little lore snippets if you choose to read them. Because the scanning was the main selling point of the original Metroid Prime. If I'm not mistaken, that's like that's the game mechanic. And assuming that this new game also has scanning, I can't wait for Miles to be like, hey, you should scan this thing over here. What I did
that's the kind of thing
Wonder.
They say now. It's like, oh, did you save your game, Samus? It's like
you probably don't need to. Oh, that's a good point. I wonder if this game has save points or like save rooms, or if it just auto saves.
They might not. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised like one way or the other, but like just the game reminding you to do stuff. Like I think it gets to a point, and I'm actually gonna crack the joke. Like you know, for all the shit people talk about Game Freak, at least the characters aren't always talk. At least the characters don't talk.
Well, they
you know, at least you don't hear
talking.
Their voices.
They're just not.
Oh, they are, but like they're just not voiced. They just like mouth without actually getting voice. But I don't know, man. I like this. You know, honestly, the fewer human faces I see in Metroid games, the better. You know, like I like it when you see a little bit of Samus's face. I feel like it adds to the mystery, the intrigue. But like, I don't know. I mean, Samus has so much aura. Like, all right, look at that. We've got power. Like, shut up, dude. I don't know, man. And I'll make you know, for example, in
So the people who
I'm a Chozo Elder. I don't know my shit. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Oh, you were just cutting out a little bit, so I was gonna say
Oh, okay. You talk to one of the Chozo elders, and like he tells you shit. He gives you kind of like a backstory. And Samus like has like one line in that entire game where she talks to the Chozo, and it's like it's cool. It's so cool, and it's just like I love that. And I don't know. I mean, I think this kind of runs in opposition to it. I mean, it's not Samus talking, but it's just like.
Game where they would have Shell speak for the first time by like hitting a certain key. Like that would be the climactic moment, is you have to like say accept to I don't know, turn something off or on, and people universally hated it or were confused, and they're like, okay, well, we won't do that in the game then. But I don't know all the details about the people who like played the game. So were they were given review copies, or they played like the opening of the game?
I don't think it was review copies. It might have been the opening. That's what that would make more sense to me.
I guess the saving
it was the opening.
Yeah, the saving grace, what I hope for is that the reason Samus is hanging out with all these human characters, trying to endear you to them, is that some kind of terrible calamity befalls them, and then the game, it becomes isolated.
Well, there was another joke going around where it's like a lot of the humans were like, can't wait to get home to see my family. You know, I really miss my family. It's just like, oh, that guy's gonna die. He's gonna die a painful death.
Talkative, even while alone. Those restless energy.
Even while alone.
Like, this can be charming, I guess, but not with this fucking.
It's a charming characteristic, but like you gotta like know when to put it in the game, and this is not the game you put it in. You know. Did I just?
Yeah, you know, I think one thing I like
to blow up that freaking dragon with my mind.
One thing I think is like undersung about the Metroid games is that, you know, there's a story, but you know, every single part of the game is like, it feels like a small facet of a wider like story. You know, I mean, you have the lore, and you have the like scans and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like you're Samus, and your job is to like survive, you know, and you have to find your way out. And there's very limited communication that you have with like other characters. And I think there's something really cool about that. That I don't know, this doesn't work with it, you know, like
I'm noticing in this footage that there's a tab under biology for Galactic Federation, and you're right, there are the 5 other locked ones, and Miles is just one of many. I don't know, maybe the others will be less annoying, but they're still gonna be talking to you. I at least hope that when we meet the other characters, it's like the bit in Rick and Morty when we meet the dumb Rick who they all hate. I hope when Miles leads us back to the crew, they're all just awful to Miles. They're all just terribly mean to him. That's the best I can hope for. But that's what
I also
I've
hate
heard.
his suit. His suit looks stupid.
His suit or Samus's suit?
His suit. No, Samus's suit.
His suit does look stupid. Why does he look like a fucking rip-off Isaac from Dead Space?
He's a reverse alien. The little Samus gem as well. I mean, I do like this, right? Where he's like, hey, what do you think? And then Samus doesn't say anything. Like, I'll concede that that's fun, right? But I hate that too. I hate that too. I think best case scenario is this is the opening, and the opening is slow, and then this
is just footage from Prime 1.
No, I mean like what we have seen, like
okay.
The bits that they have played with Miles is just the opening of the game, and then
because
that's what happens in every Prime game is you need to lose your abilities from the previous game. What the hell? This is awesome to watch.
Oppenheimer.
It's like he knew.
Well, you know, I think I remember. What was I gonna say? Crap. Fuck. I'll circle back if I remember.
Something about Metroid. Well, like Metroid Prime. Do you think they'll have the bit at the opening of this game where you lose all your abilities from Metroid Prime 3, or do you think it's been long enough that you could just start without them?
I don't know.
I guess that's a good question. Is it going to be a direct sequel, or is it going to be like a years later kind of sequel thing?
I assumed it would be like years later.
When did Metroid Prime 3 come out?
2007 maybe.
Yeah.
It's been 20 something. It's been 18 years, and Samus is still around.
It'll be like Incredibles 2, where it just takes place immediately after Metroid Prime 3.
Mm-hmm. So
no,
if I remember correctly, Nintendo was developing it, and then they had to start over, and then they handed over development to Retro Studios, right?
I think it wasn't.
I don't know if it was Nintendo. I think another company was doing it.
There was another
company did Retro.
I forget which company it was, but they're like, okay, we're not gonna.
This is not good. Let's give it to Retro.
Damn! Imagine you have to cancel the game because it's bad, and you hand it over to a different company, and it's worse. Well, I don't know if it'll be worse, but I hope the game parts are still fun.
The gameplay looks
Miles
fine.
Dies tragically.
Someone said it's the Boo saga of Metroid Prime, where it's like this very tense situation, but it's constantly undercut by dumb, stupid child antics, and I kind of get it.
Yeah. Because, like, this can't just be like, oh, this is the kickoff to a new trilogy, because it's been so long. It needs to be a big deal in and of itself. I mean, I'm biased, I suppose. I've always preferred 2D Metroids, but I didn't hate Metroid Prime 1. I got the feeling while I was playing Remastered that, like, there is stuff that they work out better in 2 and 3, because I've heard everyone say that 2 and 3 are better, and I was just waiting
People
for
say 3 are better?
Okay, maybe I've only heard
I feel like 1 and 2 there's a dichotomy, but I feel like 3, you know, even Arlo says in the video, and I kind of agree with him, is that like there's some like 3 they kind of try some new things out, and it in some ways is good, but like there is like a certain thing that's lost. I think Metroid Prime 3 by definition, you're not as lonely, it's not as like well, it's still atmospheric, but there's kind of like something really cool I think about the first 2 games that is a little bit kind of let go of.
I don't like this either, I'm not gonna lie.
Bike?
I don't love the bike. I just like, I love the claustrophobic feeling.
Yeah, you know, when I was just thinking this is that, you know, like one cool thing about you know, previous Metroid games is like, oh, you enter this new section through this one door. Oh, but you find out that this other area like opens a locked door from earlier, and then this is a shortcut to this section. I like when you kind of explore the game world that way. Maybe with fast travel. I mean, I do like how like some of the newer ones have fast travel as well later on. but I think it's more interesting than just kind of traversing like empty space.
Well,
Like,
that's
oh,
why I
okay.
think that like if this is footage from, I guess this is footage from the direct and not from like the game journalist playing it. If this is either early game or late game, is my hope, is maybe you start with the bike and then it gets taken away, or you get it at the end, because this bit specifically is, I think, what you're talking about, where we see this ramp that you can only cross with a bike, and it feels like it would be a Metroid mechanic that, like, oh, you're in first person and you see that gap, you're like, oh man, I want to get over there, and then once you unlock
But like
the bike,
you
you're
should
like,
be
oh,
able to like. I don't know the names of the power-ups all that well, but there's one specifically that you can go at like breakneck speed. I'm like,
yeah,
they could have
Oh,
like
yeah.
implemented that.
yeah, the bike
You
also
know,
kind of
they didn't
negates the
need the
ball,
bike.
like,
Nah, not necessarily.
I mean, you
I
still
mean,
have to
like,
crouch with the
Well,
ball.
in
There's still a
regards
lot
to like mobility,
puzzles with
yes,
the
but in
ball.
regards to like getting into tight spaces,
Yeah.
then no.
Why doesn't
Yeah.
Metroid just crawl? But that's where we're at with this game. We're still some weeks away. We have some time. I hope at the very least, when I played Wonder, I changed the Flowers voice lines to German, and I did the same for Pauline. So I hope I could do the same with Miles or any character because I just think it makes the game more enjoyable. But that game is coming out in 2 weeks.
I think BH Ultra seems to prefer a world where everyone speaks German. Just saying.
What does that say about BH Ultra? Interesting.
What do you think the H stands for?
100 years is very, very concerning then.
That I've been around for.
If it was 100, no, that you would say it over 100 years ago.
Yeah, with a million years, who can remember these things? Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on from the past. The future's now, man. Who cares? Who even remembers? You know, stuff like that. People who are always saying that.
Right.
The worst people. That we don't know about next week. Obviously, Kirby Air Riders is the end of this week, and then we have that.
Oh god, I can't wait
for Kirby Air Riders. Well, I think we can jump into that as well. That I do have my Kirby Air Riders better speculation guide over here, where we have been putting characters, enemies, machines, and courses. And two things I think are worth pointing out. Now that the test rides have ended and the game is coming out, we cannot play the game anymore until the game actually releases on Thursday. But I've seen additional posts. Oh, this is Miles again. Additional posts from one of the demo sessions is being able to play with this cart or this machine, the Vampire Star. And I added this early on.
Sick. So sick.
That we see this. Did it just... Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Hold on, let me do that again. Oh, man. This is gonna suck. Hold on. There we go. This gummy ship that had a question mark that we didn't know what it correlated to in the second direct, but now we know it does coincide with this Vampire Star. So now we can get rid of the gummy one. We don't have an official render for it, but I did my best with that lasso tool. We also said last time that both Chili and Jab Jab are likely in the game. I didn't have the time to get those renders then. We still don't have official renders. I mean, we do have old renders for Chili. So I just cut them out and put them here because we probably, you know, won't come back to this guide again because the game will just be out, so there'll be no purpose. But I did see another post, another official post by the Kirby Air Riders Twitter account. Inhale or capture Zapuzu, and you will become invincible when you boost dash. Rivals you bump into will be electrified. This is the sort of blue triangle character we see in that second direct over there, the Super Paper Mario looking character.
I was gonna say, that's just like a Super Paper Mario character.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I don't know where it is in this. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at. We see
it's
it
a little
down
hard
there.
to tell, actually.
Yeah. Is this when he is electric, or is this when it's around him?
I think because he's wearing the headphones, unless that's like an accessory. I think that
that's gonna be the thing.
just put one of the Sprixies from Super Paper Mario and say
well,
that's it,
notice
and it's
I
like,
put
oh, there we
just
go.
An image of Robo Dedede because we still don't have a render, even though we have all these other renders. I just used old ones for 02 and Nightmare, or the Nightmare Ball. But that's all we had to cover as far as Kirby Air Riders go. We can wrap that up. And I think we did already cover the Zelda movie as well. Something worth noting for tying back to original themes of the Switch to Ultra podcast is we talked about how annoying it is to see those fake AI leaks for that one. I think they said it was a Mario Golf game. No, it was the Mario Tennis game. They said, like, oh no, sorry. My mistake. Mario Kart World DLC roster. And they're like, oh, it's King Babam, it's Mallow. And instead of just making art or using already existing 3D models, which exist already. They AI generated them. Same goes for that Rosalina leak a while back that was, again, somebody just using an AI model to create it. This, I mean, it already happened and we missed all of it. But worth noting that after the podcast, I saw people posting around this thing of Mario doing the spin, of the Mario movie render doing this galaxy spin in front of what looks to be a Mario Galaxy poster. And it ended up not being true, but this person did genuinely create the leak and create the model. So shout out Awesome 3D, because again,
Dude, shout out this kid. He also posted it on his main account. Like,
oh yeah, just hey guys, I found this leak. That's a ball. But I'm just happy to see a fan-made fake leak.
That's actually a really good recreation. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna. Come on. Well, I'll follow back later. I'm gonna. All right, I'll do that now. Shout out.
Oh, he doesn't even follow you. Damn.
He doesn't follow me. I follow him now.
He's 15. My
3D...
goodness.
That's fucking.
Oh yeah, I thought you guys had seen that already. Yeah, no, like, dude, this.
That's happened a couple times where I've seen like art I like and just instinctively hit the follow button, and then I check the account. I'm like, oh man. And so, dude, one time it was like.
Do you have a hard rule against that?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay. I feel like a sex predator now.
I mean, it's fine, but like I post inappropriate things on my account. Like, it's on a person-to-person basis. It was a couple weeks back, I saw art that I really liked, and I hit the follow button, and then I got a notification that this person followed me back, and I'm like, oh, who is this? And I'm like, oh, it's the person I followed earlier. And then I clicked on their account, and it said they were a minor, and I'm like, oh, fuck, what a...
Damn.
So I like waited a day and then unfollowed. I felt bad because I wasn't going to instantly... But I just... It's not a hard rule, right? But, well, it kind of is. I don't know. Just personally for me, I know it's out there to say, like, oh, you know, kids shouldn't be on this platform or this platform, whatever. If you're going to be on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, whatever, I'm totally fine with that. But specifically, like, Discord and Twitter is where I draw the line. Because those are just, you know, those are apps or social medias or websites that allow not safe for work content. I'm not saying that, you know...
Well, okay, but every website allows not safe for work content if you're able to post not safe for work content, if you know how to go around the rules. I mean, I mean, I can understand for like Discord because that's more of a private based thing. Yeah. But like, I guess that also depends on like, this is stupid. I don't really want to go there, but like, what's your definition of a quote minor? Like, would you follow someone who's 17?
No.
Okay. All right.
I think 18 is the line for me.
Right, I gotcha. Okay,
well, I
mean,
don't
like,
take this out of context. I mean, when it comes to following people, because like,
right. I mean, I follow minors. Like, for example, the guy who did the kid who did the Lego sequence in the Spider-Man movie. Like, I follow him. He's rad. That dude's rad. And there are a few YouTubers who I follow who are like 16, 17-year-old range who make pretty good content.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine. I just don't personally. I'm not even saying like, oh, they shouldn't be on Twitter, because, you know, I was on Twitter when I was a teenager, but right. I just don't want them personally in my space, and I'm not gonna block them either. Like, they can.
No, my space is different.
Right. That's the only place where minors haven't taken over. We all have to go back to MySpace.
Go back to MySpace, yeah.
That argument comes up a lot, is that like, oh, where are kids gonna go on the internet? But I do think there is a like
Club Penguin.
I was gonna say Club Penguin.
Yeah, a tier list of like ones that are more appropriate, right? Where specifically, like, I think my issue with TikTok when it comes to that is to look at TikToks. You don't have to, because someone can send you a link, but every time you do, it'll be like in a weird browser version. But if you want to scroll through TikTok, you need to make a TikTok account. Whereas if you want to go on YouTube and watch YouTube videos, you could just do that.
That's the thing with the internet that just needs to fucking stop. The idea that you have to make an account for everything.
Yeah, well, I can't DM website on Twitter anymore, because now I gotta make.
Well, I think you do have to make. You should make an account if you want to post something or comment something. Right. But view something, I think it's ridiculous to have to make an account.
Yeah, right. Sites like Twitter. I mean, they basically. You know, there's all these soft measures they implement to make, you know, browsing it without being logged in as just annoying as possible.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's just can people, like, it also just makes it harder to like archive information. Just, you know, keep in touch, you know, and I just don't like it. It leaves like a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah. Well, that's my. I mean, we talked about this before. That I created my YouTube account in 2016 because I was like, I could. I'm old enough to do this now. That when I was a kid, still watching YouTube religiously, I would write down physically on paper all the channels I liked because I couldn't subscribe to anyone. So I just had the list. I'm like, every day I'm gonna check back on all these channels.
That's cute.
Stuff like that. But yeah, like I don't look at anyone differently if they are mutuals with people online like that. But I have a line about it.
Yeah, I think in many ways it's just a way to like, because I mean, I think occasionally if you have friends or you have like you follow people online who are teenagers, you occasionally are kind of like faced with a question, like an ethical question of like, how do I deal with this? Like, should I say something here? Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was like 19, I still had some friends that were teenagers, and just I mean, maybe just covering, for a lot of reasons, occasionally certain topics would come up, and I'd say like, hey man, I don't want to talk to you about that. Like, it's just there's like a point where I just do not feel comfortable like talking about that with a teenager.
I can't
it's just
relate to that.
No,
exactly.
I totally get that. Like I'm in servers where there are minor people, and whenever they have like those like vent channels, vent channels, and there's a minor thing, and I'm like, I'm not touching that with a 20-foot pole. I am not even getting close to touching that.
It's the same.
You can post there, not touching it.
I also have a rule about my server that you need to be an adult to like be in it because we have conversations sometimes if people ask me a question, I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll answer this. And also sometimes we watch shows like The Chair Company where stuff just happens on screen. But yeah, I can't relate to like being close with like minors when I was like an adult because I kind of just like immediately like, all right, I'm gonna hit the ground running, I'm gonna cut everyone off. But I do concede that I was very teenage brained for a while. Like I don't think I let myself grow up until I was like 21, honestly. I do think there is a little bit of again, please don't take this out of context so it sounds like we're arguing something else, but I do think there is a little bit of like a grace period from like when you instantly become an adult to like 21 where you're still not really an adult. Like you're basically just an older kid now, and you're
an adult by label, basically.
Right. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I made a lot of mistakes, specifically when I was 20. I think that was probably the year where I just fucked up the most.
I'm still fucking up.
Yeah. I mean, you never stop. Like I said, like, oh, I grew up. I'm more mature than I was, and I'm an entirely different person. But technically, my frontal lobe hasn't finished developing, so I'm looking forward to that next year. But as far as information goes, we covered that fake leak, and the main segment will be going over these Game Award nominations because they came out today. But Dan, you sent me this GameStop trade anything. What's the deal with this?
So you can bring basically anything, but there's a list of exclusions, but you can basically bring anything and trade it, and they will give you store credit, not just games, not just gaming related stuff.
How much store credit? I guess it
I don't know, but you can bring taxidermy, and that does equate to store credit.
I'm seeing it here in the thumbnail. Yeah, I want to bring them some. I'm gonna bring some real rare and see what I get. I'm gonna bring my actual virtual boy and see how much store credit I get. This is a fun $30 because it's in like December, right? Something like that, or is it soon? December 6th. Yeah, I've been seeing already like Black Friday deals the entire rest of the month. Times are tough, so to speak. Well, today, I guess a little bit before this pod went up, we got the proper Game Award 2026. Sorry, 2025. I'm getting ahead of myself. Nominees. Now, do you guys continually watch the Game Awards? Is it something you make a note to like watch?
I did for a couple years, but then I like missed 1 year, and I'm like, eh.
Oh, so you're trying.
I still watch it from time to time. I like to clown a lot. Yeah. I'm in it for the hobby. Muppets, and that's it.
For me, it's like it's always around December, so it is sort of like nostalgic now. I was talking to this about someone about like, because we were watching Red 1 in the server because it was the 1 year Red 1 anniversary, and I was like, oh man, we were discussing what is like a modern Christmas classic, like something that people watch on Christmas. And I think the most recent one is like the 2018 Grinch, but that's just, that doesn't really count because that's an adaptation of an older property. And I said like, oh, I know people that watch like Snowpiercer like every Christmas, and that's like a 2014 movie. And I think they're doing an in rewriting or writing again the Smash video, specifically like the Game Awards and Smash Ultimate, those games in particular make it feel like December. Because they always are. And I've been watching Game Awards every year since the Joker reveal happened. I don't think I was watching that day. Maybe I was. But ever since then, nothing has reached that Joker level. But it is just, it's a tradition by this point. They announce stuff there sometimes. So the main selling point is the Game of the Year nominees. I guess what is it? It's December 11th, so that'll be after Metroid Prime. Maybe the pod before that we'll lock in our nominees. But how do you feel about this slate of games of Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2?
That seems pretty fair. Are there any games that like kind of people are saying were snubbed?
Any crazy sneaks? Well, I don't know. I don't actually know.
Well, everyone, I saw like a few people being like, where the fuck is Dispatch? I'm like, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Best esports game. Oh, yeah, I forgot. They're still doing that. I do know that there's like a sports racing game. Yeah, this sports/racing in both Mario Kart Worlds and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds are nominated. And then there's a best family game where Mario Kart World and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds are nominated.
Is Split Fiction a family game?
It's not about divorce per se, like the other one is. Oh shit, we got Lego Friend Slop on there. Sorry, Lego Couple Slop on there too. Big year for Lego. And everyone's like, oh man, one of these is going to take it home. But I think it's possible that Sonic wins the racing sports one because it's more like a sports racing game. And then Mario wins the best family game. Because the best family game category is ostensibly exists so that Nintendo games can win awards.
But it's going to go to Bonanza because Bonanza's nominated for best game.
What if Bonanza wins Game of the Year, though? I mean, Bonanza's my Game of the Year, but I haven't played Silk Song. I think Silk Song should win. I think that's more important for the industry if a game like Silk Song wins.
Rad of Silk Song won, but it's going to go to Death Stranding because it's Death Stranding.
Which of these... Oh, yeah, he's a friend of the Game Awards. Which of these games have you guys played?
I've not played Hollow Knight, like, period. So
I haven't either, but I want to play Silk Song.
I've only played Bonanza 2, actually.
Okay, so we've all played only Bonanza. So I'm gonna say Bonanza is my Game of the Year. Would you guys have different personal games of the year? Or is Donkey Kong?
No, Bonanza's my Game of the Year nonetheless.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what came out this year. I'm blanking.
Doom, Monster Hunter, Skate Open Beta. I don't know if that counts.
I'm gonna look this up. Hold on. Best
other
games
stuff
of 2025.
Oh, I thought this was Tokon. I'm like, that's not even out yet. These are the nominees we've got so far. But honestly, oh wait, nominees for best role-playing game. I did play Monster Hunter Wilds. I guess that's my... Because last year I did my best to like play everything that was nominated. But, most anticipated game, Grand Theft Auto 6. Wait, there's a bit in here.
Auto 6, Marvel's Wolverine,
best game that hasn't come out yet,
and The Witcher 4.
Why can't I...
Vote at thegameawards.com.
Why can't I close out of this? Stop.
Oh no.
Escape. There we go. What's the line he says? Or is it on the website?
The nominees for most anticipated game are...
People are saying Fantasy Life is very, very good. I've heard very good things about Fantasy Life.
I don't know what that is. Oh, Battlefield 6, Split Fiction. Peak. Oh yeah, Peak is best multiplayer. I forgot about Peak. That'll probably win.
liked... Does Deltarune count? I like Deltarune.
That's true. It should. It should count. Best independent game. No, something's missing here. That's weird. Or maybe they're just spaced like that. It's your most anticipated game. Is it 007, Resident Evil, Witcher, Wolverine, or Grand Theft Auto 6?
Mine is Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Where is Yoshi and the Mysterious Book?
Yeah, mine's Half-Life 3. Where's Half-Life 3? Would you say Kai Cenat is your content creator of the year?
I'd probably give it to Moist.
What the fuck
Moist
is that?
I know some people.
Wait, hold on, go back. What is that? I didn't even know about this guy.
They're just making people out. Chad Chatterson.
I think he has to win. I think I'm locking in Burnt Peanut. We'll
Brad
go
Chadley. Chad Bradley.
Last year I tried to play all the nominees, but this year I had a rule that like I'm not gonna buy a new game until I complete the last one, and now tomorrow I'm gonna play SpongeBob. So we'll see how it lines up. The main thing is that there's always that like that one final game we're announcing. I guess we don't need to get into Game Awards theorizing and speculation yet, because the Game Awards are still some weeks away. I forget that it's still early November. I'm so like mentally prepared because I've been writing about December.
We're over halfway through.
Yeah, but still. I filmed the Total Pokemon
God, we
Action
are.
bit on Sunday, and I'm like, okay, time to wrap this up, because I forgot that there was another week I have to film of that. There's a whole other episodes. Well, don't they nominate Deltarune because it's half-finished game? All right, I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't say it's half-finished. I'd say Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 are their own game.
Yeah.
Is that why
Yeah.
Dispatch isn't? Well, what's that? Is Dispatch the story game that everyone's talking about?
Well, I thought Dispatch wasn't in it because it missed the cutoff, right?
Right, and that's why we don't got Kirby Air Riders neither, or Metroid, I guess. I was gonna ask
Or,
what we think like the big game is gonna be, like big announcement. We should probably save that for when we're talking about.
Do you think? I don't care about announcements for Game Awards anymore. They're so like, because I mean, when was the last thing we heard about that Naughty Dog game? Was there anything other than the Game Awards?
I don't know. I don't think so. Why can I not like properly close out of anything? I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I don't know if I don't think we've heard anything. I'm trying to think of like the last like Game Awards announcements that I'm like, holy shit. I mean, last year I was doing that when Troy Baker came out with Harrison Ford and they talked about Indiana Jones, and that game technically wasn't out
That's
yet.
funny.
Or no, maybe
I
it
liked.
was.
This is gonna sound like a Nintendo elitist, but I liked the Persona reveal because they specifically used the fact that it was the Game Awards to reveal it. Like that is a really cool reveal.
Yeah. I went back recently and wrote about the Sephiroth reveal, and I forgot that that was the year where Final Fantasy VII Remake was nominated for Game of the Year. Yeah, I think we're going to get a third fighter pass at Game Awards. I think they're going to announce the first fighter in the third fighter pass.
Yeah, it's gonna be the guy from Dispatch.
It's going to be the character from Metroid Prime 4. Miles whatever.
Miles McKenzie.
Yeah,
Yes.
Miles McKenzie. We all thought it would be Ravenbeak or Psylocke. Dude, what if Miles becomes Psylocke? Like, that's the reveal at the end.
That's it. It's all been a prequel.
Yeah, we played the game already. But yeah, what I'll say is, I haven't played the game, but Half-Life 3 is for sure coming out not coming out. Yeah, they're going to shadow drop it. It'll be announced this week for sure. I'm locking that in 100%, and I'm going to lock it in every week until I'm right.
It's coming out tomorrow, and if it doesn't come out tomorrow, consult the first phrase.
It's coming out tomorrow, and then it'll be announced the day after. It'll just go up on Steam, but nobody will notice because they won't do an announcement.
Exactly.
Let me ask you guys, is there anything specifically you wanted to cover before we enter the final segment of discussing, films, I suppose?
I mean, SpongeBob's coming out tomorrow. I'm probably going to wait to play it because, I wanted to play it on Switch too, but I played the demo, and even in quality mode, it ran not very good. It was, really chugging on the Switch too.
I fear
in quality mode
are going to be
I'm sorry, performance mode.
Oh, okay.
And it's just well, I was looking forward to it. Now I don't know if I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I remember early on, or it wasn't even that early. It was 2021 when I played Crash Bandicoot 4 on the original Switch, and the load times were awful, and the game ironically kept crashing. I'm like, this is not that intensive of a game. It should not be acting like this. And they have major games that they've announced in directs, and Resident Evil also has Amiibo coming out. So I imagine they care a lot about that game. But I feel like there's other lower rung third-party games that are going to fall through the cracks. I'm going to play it on Xbox.
The only other thing
Cosmic Shake.
I can think of that we actually never talked about, or at least I don't think we talked about, that was news a few weeks ago. I don't know if that was ever disproven or not, is that apparently there might be a Crash Team Racing thing coming.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know that. What was the deal behind that? Because I heard about the Netflix series.
It was the Beanox banner, and there was a bunch of their stuff, but there was specifically an image of Crash in a cart, and it was never seen before, and it wasn't used as any art from the original game. So people were like, "What is this? Is this a new game?" And people were like, "Oh, it's got to be a new game."
It was just a Crash Racing. Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen that render of him jumping off of a cart. Okay, this isn't helping. These. Oh yeah, this one.
There it is. Well, that one's kind of like has AI in it.
Bit. Oh.
Because that's not the actual. That's like part of it is the image. Like I'd say like 3/4 of it is the actual image, but they use AI to kind of like. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, is
like that. That's it.
So this comes from where? Like the company.
That's from the Beanox like banner header for either their Twitter or for their website. Beanox is the developer behind Crash 4.
Oh, okay. I don't know who this character is, but I hope he is in the game.
I think that's Call of Duty.
Nah, he's the Crash Bandicoot character.
Like, yeah, he's
That's what happened, right? Is that Toys for Bob were developing them, and then they went, like Xbox liquidated them or something? They got them all the way from Call of Duty.
Well, it's not like Blizzard, Activision, Blizzard. It's a mess.
All their stuff. That Xbox is just consistently buying the American companies, I think, and then just use the teams for other stuff. They're not, listen, they're bad, but they're not Xbox, where they'll just get these brands and then fully get rid of all. I guess the idea is to have their games on Game Pass. We didn't talk about it either because I don't know if any of us have a dog in this fight, but it seems that the new Call of Duty is also duty. Like, it sucks.
I mean, like, I don't care. Yeah. So, I mean,
it has a bunch of, like, they have those little tags next to their name, and they're all AI slop. And you could tell because they all look like weird Ghibli stuff. And that is not the Call of Duty art style at all. It's a strange direction to go as a whole. But again, I don't think any of us play those games. That's really just a game series that would that I would like play at friends' house, and friends would like, I legitimately, they were like Call of Duty zombies that you could play with a squad of 4. We would go over to our friend's house after being at the public pool, and it was like gym class all over again, that they would draft people back and forth, and I would always be the last one because I could not aim for shit. But as we're wrapping up this pod, I suppose we could do what we did last week, where I go over the new episodes of series and whatnot that came out between episodes, and also the films I saw. So let me ask you guys individually, have you seen the new episodes of Has-Been Hotel, South Park, Fiona and Cake, The Chair Company, Smiling Friends, or Haha You Clowns?
Everything except for Has-Been.
Okay, so you did see new South Park.
Yes, I did see new South Park.
I forgot it
was probably one of the better ones of the season.
Well, I guess I didn't watch the second episode, and the first one was, I was just checked out fully. I think I'm just checked out of South Park in general. Like the fact that it's season 28.
It's just so boring. It's not boring. It's just like, I wish they came up with like I kind of thought we were done with the serialized storytelling. You know, like can we not?
I know it's South Park's thing to like grab headlines and have an episode about that, but it really does just feel like, okay, what's the current thing? And it's funny because that's the bit in the Smiling Friends episode where they're watching The Simpsons on screen. It's very funny. It's Hawk Tua, man. So I imagine, so Switchy, did you see the new Smiling Friends?
Yeah, I did.
Is that the only one on this list that you have seen?
Yeah, bro. I don't fucking.
Okay. Well, I will say at the very least then that my issue with Has-Been Hotel Season 2 has not been rectified from like a pacing issue. I really liked all the music in the last 2 episodes. And again, they're releasing 2 episodes each week. So it's really going to run out of steam quickly. But
wait, isn't this like then the last week? Because aren't there only 8 episodes?
I think next week is the last week. So I don't know what we're building up to, but there's a big like moment where the team falls apart in the first episode that came out this week, and then they're forgiven via song in the second episode. And you know, it's a musical series, and I like the song, but I feel like we gotta space it out a little bit. You're really feeling the limited amount of time they have to do the story they're trying to do.
They're being forgiven through song. I hate when people do that.
But the South Park episode was predominantly about the Sora AI, and I just don't.
I don't want to hear they had Bluey on it, right?
Yeah, they have Bluey on it.
Dude, I mean, it does suck, this whole AI thing, because like, dude, I don't even want people to talk about it. It's just like I don't even want to hear it. Like, it's just like.
There's a bit in Now You See Me, Now You Don't, which is a movie I saw this weekend where Jesse Eisenberg's
I heard about this. Yes,
is talking to the. Wait, what did you hear? I heard that he was talking
about the AI.
Oh well, no, hold on. Yeah, well, he's like talking to the new group of magicians, and is like, "Oh, nice dissertation. What did ChatGPT write it for you?" And like, I get it. Like, they're making fun of it. They're saying it's slop, but I just don't want them to acknowledge it at all. Don't name drop it. I want to pretend it doesn't exist. So
no,
what
okay,
did you hear?
because what I heard was like there was a sequence in that movie where it's like people were like, "Is this AI or is this not AI?" And the director was like, "We tried to make it as close to like what AI slop would look like without going into the AI, like actually doing AI."
Interesting, because what I liked most about this movie, aside from them being woke ass magicians, they target crypto bros in the opening, and then the main villain is a mine owner in South Africa. You know, we're getting into really hard stuff. That
Damn,
there's
fighting
a lot of
politics.
they made Now You See Me Now You Don't woke. That there's a lot of, this is I think my favorite one, because this is the only one that like bothers to set up how the tricks work, like not in egregious detail, but the other movies are just like, yeah, they're wizards, I guess. Like, they are literally magical. They're not feasible tricks, where this one is that it uses those optical illusions as a visual indicator in the movie. So we see in this poster, this little like MC Escher area, there's a fight sequence that happens in a section like this. And I think maybe that's what the director was talking about. And there's other like perspective ones where the person looks a lot bigger. And it's a movie clearly made by someone who loves magicians, I guess. But that was really my only strong feelings about this, other than I'm becoming... Do you ever do that thing where you, as you get older, you start to develop, like, traits you never thought you would, either from your parents or from the older generation? Like, feeling a little bit more millennial as you age? That I've gotten to the point now where, because I watch movies every week and I like them so much, that every time there's, like, a young actor in, like, a franchise film, I'm, like, immediately rooting for them. So, like, the Dominic Sessa and Justice Smith and Ariana Greenblatt, who I looked up her filmography, and she's the child who played young Gamora, young Velma,
Oh, interesting.
young Ahsoka, and young Nina in in the Heights. Yeah, In the Heights. Sorry, I should not mix those ones up. So she's been typecast as being the young one for a while, but she was also the kid in the Barbie movie. That it's those three, and like I'm immediately rooting for them. I'm like, man, those guys are my kids. Like, those are my children. I'm pulling for them right now. But before we talk about Ha, You Clump Smiling Friends, Chair Company, and Fiona and Cake, the other movie I saw. So what I did was I went to go see Keeper, and then I had like an hour between, and then I went to go see Now You See Me. And there are two theaters that are kind of close to us. One is like 20 minutes and one's like 9 minutes. And the 20-minute one has all the cool re-releases in an IMAX screen, whereas the one that's close to me is kind of shitty. But because of that, not a lot of people go, so I was chopping it up with the people at the concession stand. I'm like, man, what do you recommend? And I got their new cookies at the AMC. But I had time to kill, so I was just walking into other theaters. And there was a re-release of Wicked, and for whatever reason, the screen was like really tinted yellow. I think it was just like a stain, or just that theater people don't go in. But before it, there were like trailers for restoration movies, like, oh, this movie's coming back in HD or in 4K. And I was like, is this like AI? Is that why it's yellow? But no, I went to... So before I saw Now You See Me, Now You Don't, Keeper, which, by the way, Dan was right. I sat down in the theater, and the early production logos they show before the movie, because this is Osgood Perkins' newest film, was the Oddfellows logo.
Yeah, so the freaking guy has his foot in everything. It's wild.
So I don't have many thoughts about Keeper. I was kind of disappointed, right? I didn't like it as much as The Monkey. Keeper, it was a completely empty theater. I sat down in an empty theater, and it was just me watching Keeper. And then, a couple minutes before the movie started, some guy walked up and walked all the way down to my row, and then sat about a seat down from me. So there's one gap in between. And he's like...
He like try to hold your hand?
Well, yeah, he's like, hey, man, I don't know if you want me to like sit right next to you or one away from you, but, you know, it's like a... You know, I just didn't want to be alone and seeing this movie. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you can, like, sit over there just in case I, like, jump or whatever. I was finding an excuse not to sit next to him. And the whole, like, before the movie started, I'm like, dude, this fucking sucks. Like, I got anxiety. I'm freaking out crazy. And then I was, like, talking to myself. I'm like, you know what? I mean, not out loud. I'm like, I should just... What if this guy was to be friends, you know? Like, I'm not... I have talked to everyone else at this theater. I'm not in college or anything, so there's not like a movie club I can exchange information with. So after the movie, I was like, man, that was kind of boring. It wasn't what I expect from Osgood Perkins. It wasn't bad, but I didn't really care for it. And then while the credits were rolling, I asked this guy, I'm like, hey, what'd you think of the movie? And he had a very different take, a more nuanced take, arguably, and he respected it a little more and was pointing out stuff that I didn't even notice. We talked for the entirety of the credits rolling, like a solid 7 minutes.
Nice.
His name's Jermaine. I got his name. I think he followed me on Instagram, and I said like, hey, if I ever see you at the theater again, we'll catch the movie, because I go every week. So all I have to say about Keeper is that a guy sat next to me, and then I made a friend. You might be watching the Shout out Jermaine. That's my experience with that movie. And you guys reacted accordingly. I was horrified at first.
Yeah, I was like making fun of Jermaine.
Yeah. He was willing to put himself out there. I do wish that, I don't want people talking during it, but I do wish there was a more social aspect to going to the movie theater, because I know some people really don't like going, and even more, some people really don't like going alone. But I love it. I don't mind going to the theater.
I love going alone. Going alone's great.
Then I could wander into other theaters while I'm waiting for Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Crazy.
Exactly.
So
I didn't think of it that way.
You have seen the newest Fiona and Cake episode.
Yeah, and I'm really, really, really hoping that now that like she's back to quote unquote normal, that we can fucking move this plot along.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
because I am just like
your issues. Because for me, it's just like we're just kind of, because we're like halfway through, right?
Well, this week's episode will be halfway through. Yeah.
Okay, the upcoming Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
no, it's just like, what are we doing? Like, can we move the story along, please?
We've been stuck in Fiona world for a while, and I don't even necessarily like dislike the Fiona romance stuff. I just think it needs to be.
I don't either, but it takes up so much time that I'm just like, who is even the bad guy in this season? Like, what is the point of this season? Like, yeah, she wants to get back home, but like, okay, so like, why did it have to take like 3 episodes to get to the point where she can actually communicate with people?
It's also like Fiona, like. And then another day passes. We gotta find a way to help him eventually. Eventually, we will. But yeah, I hope you're right. I hope the halfway point marks that the show starts moving forward. Because even like the first season, even if it didn't jump into it right away, it still had a consistent arc. And I don't know what this season's going for, per se. Maybe like, I don't know, feeling lost again, or be careful what you wish for. But I don't.
Right.
I don't know.
I feel like if this was like a 20 episode season, fine, whatever, but like we don't have that luxury anymore. We don't get that luxury anymore. We gotta condense it to 10. It's so obvious that they only had a season planned. Like this was supposed to be a season
series, then they got renewed. I know that Has-Been wasn't the same way, but again, like Has-Been's got like 8 or 10 episodes or whatever, and we're coming up on it. I don't even know what we're like. I know what the plot of the season is, but I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah,
I do like the tiny cheers though.
I do. That was pretty funny, but like, at the same time, it was also just like, I see what they're doing with Cake's storyline as well, but like, there's not enough time for all of this. There's just not enough time for all of this. We can't just, and like I don't know.
I'm about to make an insane comparison, and I am by no means saying that this season was bad or even comparing it to these cartoons. But I think that's my difference with Severance Season 1 and Severance Season 2 from earlier this year. That Season 1 was clearly made as like one solid season that they just wanted to make of television, and maybe they'll get more. Whereas Season 2 was clearly made with the knowledge that there would be additional seasons. It's a stopgap. It's like a bridge. And I think Fiona and Cake might be the same way, that this isn't like, oh, this is top to bottom Season 2. It's like, oh, this is the start of the new era of
Which
Fiona
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Either.
I kind of want every season to be its own little like story.
Yeah,
it can like there can be like themes that go back to the previous seasons, but like you never know what a show's outcome is going to be. Like it could be like, oh, we're renewing for 2 seasons. Oh, never mind, you only get 1 season. Whoopsie.
Yeah, and I can understand why you would want to do everything all at once, just in case your show does get canceled after 1 or 2 seasons. But you got to pace it out a little bit.
I just
at risk of being canceled, at least not now.
Nah, probably not. I just
I think you would
I
rather
don't know.
want to have like an abundance of ideas that you didn't get to than like, okay, fuck, what do we do for the next season? And you're right.
It's
Fiona didn't
healthier
really
that way.
they didn't plan a
Yeah.
second season. The Chair Company, on the other hand, I know people are. I don't have Pluribus on this list. I did watch the new Pluribus, but I feel like there's like not a lot I can say about that without giving away too much. And also, it's a slow burn, so there's not much individually I can say about this episode. And I, however, have seen this is going to be up there with me putting Rehearsal Season 2 above Severance Season 2. People are talking about Pluribus being the best like mystery on TV right now. I really love the Chair Company.
Yeah,
And
I
this
was gonna
latest
say
episode
I
is
think I
really,
love
really
this
good.
even more because it's just, it's so good at like constantly fucking everything over
Yeah.
and like fucking over your entire thought process. My friends and I were watching this last episode, and like I think we have like a new favorite bit every episode, and our favorite bit from this
Yes.
episode was the guy calls to threaten him, and then Ron's just like, "Yeah, come and get me, motherfucker! Come and get me right now!" And this guy in like this warbled deep voice is like, "Okay, dude, you gotta calm down."
That's crazy because I had a reaction to that, but a different reaction because that was after he shoved his boss in front of everyone. And I'm like, oh, this is like now he's locking in. Like, let's fucking go. That got me legitimately
No, I had that
excited.
too, but then like he said the thing, and I'm like, okay, and it's funny again. It's
Yeah.
funny.
My favorite bit was the thing about the grandma, about his kid's friend's grandma with the.
Oh
like,
yes.
He grabbed his
Well,
grandma or something.
then who touched their grandma?
Yeah,
it's like, no, he didn't touch his
didn't you-
grandma.
didn't you have
He
a
trapped
friend
his grandma in a bed with a
bathtub
mattress.
And put a mattress on top of it. Yeah. But the show was
Oh
so
my
silly
God.
and funny, but it's still like consistently like it's stressful to watch. But it's never.
It is so
not
stressful
fun.
to watch.
I do want to ask.
It is
though,
so
you,
stressful.
You said last week that the ending of last week's episode was like heartwarming. How do you feel about the way that has turned out in this episode? There's a little bit of a breakup.
It's a breakup, but they're gonna get back together. I mean, they
hope
gotta
so.
get back together. That being said, it's also like, for once, he actually like, without spoiling too much, for once at the end of this one, it's like, wait, he was right?
I
For,
feel
like,
he's
the first time ever.
because he was right about the actor people.
No,
too,
like you're
sorta.
right, but like the thing is, like, you're right, but there's always a catch to it.
Right.
Like there's always a catch to him being right, and like I can imagine there's gonna be a catch next week, but like this is the first time where it feels like he's right, and like it pays off for him being right. You know?
It's the not exactly the same, but this is how I feel about like hardcore conspiracy theorists. Is there's always something there, but they blow way past it. Like the people who are like, oh, there's an elite group of people that are controlling everyone by like keeping all of us down and controlling the prices of things. It's like, okay, yeah. And also they eat babies so they could stay young. It's like, oh man, you had it there for a second. Like you almost had it.
Yeah, it's disinformation a lot of the time.
That's what Begonia was about. Honestly, it was just.
I want to see that.
I won't say anything, but it was. We'll discuss once you've seen it. But you guys have all seen New Smiling Friends. with
Yeah.
Squim.
Yeah.
think it
I
had
mean,
its
I
own-
really like this one.
That's interesting because I think it's up there with like the Halloween episode from the first season, or maybe the Alan episode of last. That there weren't as many like bits that I loved, but from an aesthetic standpoint, I think the funniest joke is how Squim looks.
No, yeah, I agree. There weren't like many laugh out loud moments, and I think that's also just a general feeling I've been feeling for this and last season, mostly last season, but I will say this season too. Like
This season had the monkey ball rotoscope bit.
it did,
Oh,
but
I
also
love
just
that.
like the pacing and tone feels different from season one, and season one was kind of like the golden child for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get that it feels different, and I'm not disagreeing. But what we're getting here is still like high quality television. Like
Next
this is
week-
not
Next Sunday's the season
Bad.
finale, right?
no, not next week.
Okay.
The week after.
All right, because I know Hans said that like it could act as a proper finale to the series if they don't do any more.
It's the Glep episode.
Oh, because I know they've said like famously like, oh, we don't want it to go on forever, like Family Guy or The Simpsons or whatever. But I think what that doesn't account for is that not only are those shows 22 minutes a pop, but also they got like 20 episode seasons. Like these are
Yeah.
Yeah.
episodes per season that are each 11 minutes, or even like
Well,
8 episodes.
not even like 8.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so first season was 9.
Right.
Season 2 was 8, and then season 3 is possibly 10.
Okay.
We'll see.
But still, that's like barely over an hour, so I don't think they're burning themselves out as much as they think they might be. Like, I think a series like this going on for 6 seasons and each has like an average of 9 episodes per season, which is like 99 minutes. I think that's fine. Granted, you know, if you're working with Adult Swim series don't last that long. I think ideally they just like keep them around and greenlight a different series. But I think I don't know if you strike lightning twice. Like, I think Smiling Friends is so specifically like way more popular than it otherwise should have been.
Yeah. Is that because of like not Michael Cusack, Zach Hadel's like history? Well, Michael Cusack as well. Like, do you think it's because of their like connections to YouTube and their animation stuff, or do you think it's just something else? It's just
Well, yeah, I think they already had like a very strong following. I mean, okay, I don't want to skip ahead, but like if we want to be real, like I think Haha You Clown should be on the same level, given that Joe Kappa is a very like prominent YouTuber.
Yeah.
Like,
and every
I'm
episode
kind of shocked
is
it's not
better. Even though I do really like the jacket episode, but this one is really good. Like,
I love this one. This one I'm like
favorite.
Like, I will say, we can go back to Smiling Friends, but I will say, like, with all the craziness and the depression that you feel from fucking South Park and Fiona and Share Company, and even a bit of Smiling Friends with the nihilism, it's so like comforting to have a show like Haha You Clowns that's like genuinely so heartwarming. And like,
that's what I was gonna say about
human.
Smiling
It's
Friends.
such a human show.
Yeah, that it's not even like Smiling Friends isn't the same. But you asked Switchy like what I think the main thing of why it's so popular is. I don't want to call the show like wholesome Smiling Friends because it isn't. It's like antithetical to that. But when you see the original like design idea and even like Michael and Zach's other cartoons that are purposefully ugly, I guess, or they had their own unique style where every character sort of looks like Mr. Boss. I think the reason Smiling Friends is a lot more popular than it otherwise would have been is sort of because how cutesy a lot of the designs are.
Yeah. I don't like. I mean, I'm willing to give them a shot, but I feel like everything's intentionally kind of like grotesque and ugly. That's never hit for me. Like, I think I like how cute and like simple like Pim is.
No one's gonna talk about how kawaii like the characters from like Royal Crackers are. They just don't have that
yeah,
same...
exactly. It's that like stuff like that I feel like always aesthetically suffers for me. I'd always prefer. I mean, actually, I think there are like extents to where they overdo it. I think, the whole like you guys might roll your eyes when I say this, the like the Cal Arts whatever phenomenon is sometimes like the like everything's soft to an extent where it gets kind of annoying. But I think in general I prefer like intentionally cute and simplistic over the kind of like intentionally drab and dry or
It's the one that has to be a cartoon the most, and obviously most loves being a cartoon. Like, Simpsons kind of had that early on, and so did Family Guy, but it seems like South Park, I guess SpongeBob still kind of has it, where they're going more rubber hose. Like, South Park, Family Guy, Simpsons, even Rick and Morty, they don't need to be cartoons. They just are cartoons. They don't necessarily love the medium either, whereas I think Smiling Friends does.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it is an animated. It's an animator-driven show. Like these guys who created it are animators. Like they want something funny to be shown.
The main gag of this episode is that Squim it looks like it's done in cell animation. I don't know if it actually was or not. I know it's that one furry who made those who got really obsessed with Don Bluth, and I think it's the same person who did the Seinfeld furry cartoons on YouTube. I could be wrong.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah. That I don't know if it is cell animation. I imagine it just modeled to look like it. And then was it the Halloween episode where they're watching the movie early on and it's a Lee Hardcastle cartoon? Like every season has something like that. We had Joel Haber last time. I think it's only a matter of time before we get something like Meat Canyon. Like these popular internet animators, and this show is sort of just like to facilitate that. That I think the fact that there are so many jokes, that the joke is how it looks, the way it's animated. The Alan episode, like I said, I don't think that episode has a lot of great bits other than like the opening and the ending, but the adventure he goes through, and then the stop motion pirate ship that like pulls him over, like I love that. I love that that exists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty great.
I think I laughed more at the latest Haha You Clowns, but I think I liked the latest Smiling Friends more.
Yeah, I mean, I think this episode of Haha, I love that they're actually like diving into these characters a lot more to like differentiate them. And I love that it's so, you know, it really stretching my vocabulary here. It's such a human show, you know, like this character that's afraid to like hold a baby. Like that's so, it's weird but relatable. There's a relatability to it.
And Sean
that like he is not as natural with the baby as his brothers are, and his brothers are so natural. Yeah, and exactly, and his brothers are so natural because they had time with him as a baby.
Yeah, and now I know that the brunette one is Duncan. It's still hard for me to tell the others apart. So you're right. Like they are so like, it's still developing.
Duncan, Tristan, and Preston. I think Preston's the oldest. Tristan's the middle, and Duncan's the youngest.
Tristan's got to dye his hair red or something.
I think one of them is like a dirty blonde, and then one of them just like a straight blonde.
Yeah. So I think we've talked about this before when it comes to Adult Swim cartoons. Is I think, because I remember when YOLO ended, I saw a bunch of people being like, "Oh, more people should have watched the show." But
where were they?
3 seasons over 5 years isn't bad. Like obviously, I'm saying it sounds hypocritical because I said I want more Smiling Friends, but this is like a unique comparison. Like it's either it gets 2 seasons or it gets like 8 or 11. I think now Robot Chicken, Aqua Teen, and Rick and Morty are going to surpass 12, and that's the most they've ever done.
Well, no. Wait till I tell you about Squidbillies.
How many seasons was Squidbillies?
Like 13.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was like 13 seasons.
That's crazy. I genuinely didn't know that.
Yeah,
I know that
it's crazy.
Venture Bros capped out at, was it 6 or 8?
7.
Oh, well, I almost.
And then the movie.
Right, and they were gearing up for season 8, and then it just didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm still not over that.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing, is that, like, I don't think anything's forever, right? I think there could be a moment where whoever's in charge of Adult Swim is like, you know what? Yeah, just come back. And that's what they did for Aqua Teen. They're just like, come back.
They did do that for Aqua Teen, which is funny.
Minutes.
Yeah, come back for 5 episodes, and then we'll see you again in 10 years.
But yeah, like, each of these shows, I hope they at least keep these artists in rotation, because that's the idea, right? That was the idea with like early Cartoon Network, is like, yeah, your show ends, but then just, you know, immediately pitch another one. We'll keep you on this network.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see these people continually make shows, because Adult Swim was the same way. Like early on, it was like the same group of people all working on 5 different shows that were more or less the same, just with different characters. But I want to see them go far. Dude, every Sunday, like I know the other shows I'm just happen to watch on Sunday in the Discord watch parties, and then I watch movies on Friday. But I imagine for you, Dan, like Chair Company leading into Smiling Friends, leading into Haha You Clowns.
Yeah, so it's actually even more crazy because I also watch the Animation Domination with friends on Sunday. So it's Simpsons and Bob's and you know, soon to be Family Guy, American Dad in February, and then then it's like Smiling Friends, Haha You Clowns. Well, they don't watch that, but I watch that. But then we also do Chair. I know. Well, they watch Smiling Friends, but we don't watch it together.
Oh man. Oh yeah, you got to lock in. You got to really focus. Well, I mean, that February date is rapidly approaching when it comes to more American Dad.
I know. February 22nd. No, but I'm really pissed they chose February 22nd because I really wanted to do a 12-ounce mouse video. Okay. And now I can't because I was going to do it on February 22nd. And that makes sense if you've seen the show.
I haven't yet. It's a reference to the show, right?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I'll work my way there eventually. Do either of you have individual updates on Pocketail Island or American Dad? Because those are probably the ones that we're going to see next from both of you, right?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Just have to do the conclusion.
Whoa.
And then also, like...
just waiting to hear from other people, right?
Yeah, okay. Pretty much. Well, I mean, to be fair, the conclusion's like half an hour, so it's going to be a while to edit, but still, like... Like it's something that I can feasibly do on my own. Just give me a couple weeks, you know. Like
Right.
even if it's like a relatively like slow pace, like let's say like 2 minutes a day, which I don't know if you like it takes several hours for me.
Well, if you're editing,
it shouldn't be too long.
Oh my god, I wish I was faster. I totally get that.
wait, like 2 minutes worth of footage, that is like, yeah, it's like 30 minutes or so. I have done the math though, and for me, a page is 2 minutes. So now I do have a direct equivalence, more or less. You know,
2 minutes of editing or 2 minutes of speaking?
2 minutes in the final video. So like if a video is 2 hours, it's 60 pages.
Yeah.
So now I have that, but like I think because what I've always done is I release the video at the end of each month. And I still have plans for that, and I think the videos are going to coincide with individual months. But now that I do the little video teasers, because I think they're fun, I can line those up with more specific dates, like, oh, this is the anniversary of this thing, or this is the anniversary of this thing. That gives me a little bit more time, especially if, for those of you who don't know, in my Patreon, every week I host a bracket, and I let the patrons vote on what video they want to see the most. And the bracket will conclude, I think, on Christmas, or that's when the final vote will begin. So, hey, if you want to vote on that, feel free to subscribe to the Patreon.
Give him money. Give him money.
Give me money. Give me money. Give me money.
I think that's what I'm going to do for November as well, because I didn't have a video planned for November. I never do. That's not like a new Pokemon generation. That'll just edit together the total Pokemon Island videos and also use it as like a Patreon ad and then post that, because that's like a solid 5 hours of editing that's got to go
Yeah,
somewhere.
I mean, I've been watching that from like the beginning.
Yeah.
That stuff is like, you got at least like 4 hours in there. And I don't know how far you're planning to go in the sequel, but that's still like that's a while.
Yeah, I have different ideas for what I want to do each week, because I do want to bolster the content library of Patreon, at least for me. But yeah, that vote, I'm pretty sure I know which one is already going to win, like the entire bracket, and that one is going to be a very daunting project. So I think maybe this time around, like coming into next year, 2026, maybe I just do take the idea of like it's done when it's done. I work on all of these concurrently, and then just release the video when it's done, maybe close to the scheduled release date. There's one video next year that needs to come out on a specific date, and obviously that's the April Fool's video. But everything else, I think I'm going to allow a little bit of grace period. But ideally, I've done the math, I've crunched even more numbers. If I have every month 666 paid Patreon subscribers, then I could just get by. And obviously, you get residuals from YouTube as well. So I want to have like a stretch goal. And maybe I'll say that in the November video, like the forward, like, hey, these are all from the Patreon. This stretch goal, if we do this, I'm going to do this thing. That's the ideal, right? But where I'm at right now, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited moving into the next year, but also I've been writing this next Smash video. And I'm going to be sad to not do it anymore. And I'm covering 2 years in one, but finally get to conclude that saga. I think overall that Smash trilogy will be over 24 hours. I gotta find a way to cut them all together and upload a video over 24 hours. Because I think the upload limit is 12 hours, right? Because that's why VODs always cut off after that.
Well, yes, but like,
I think I've seen videos.
You know how to do it, you can do it.
Right. I mean, I was in that Quentin April Fool's video.
Yeah, I was about to like bring that up.
Right.
I mean, I did a test upload of just audio.
I'm curious, that whole video, I'll admit, I only watched a few minutes of it. Like, is it like just straight up like 40 hours of like straight up like actual discussion about the show?
A lot of the guest spots are reading newspaper articles, and there's a elongated section of all these cameos that are reading it out. And I remember when the video got uploaded that he like added everyone individually in that post, which I appreciate, but then every time somebody replied to his post, it added everyone in that thread.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing moving forward. You guys are working on your individual ones. Cosmic Shake ahead of the new one. If we have extra time on stream, then I will play the new one. Wednesday, hopefully completing at least the base game of Legends ZA. I think I'm close. I mean, I just beat the coffee shop people and got out of the underground. So I think I'm getting towards something.
Yeah, you're pretty close.
I'm ranked
you're
B or
like
A or something.
Kind of like right there, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 6-hour stream, so hopefully I should make progress. And then Thursday will be another 6-hour stream, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will be playing Kirby Air Riders. I'm going to do my best to get people together, but if not, then there's a lot I can do in that game, and people in the chat are also welcome to play. That's where I'm at right now. I have been your co-parent, BHultra.
And I've been your co-parent, Switchy.
And I've been your Funkle Dan.
And I need to finally finish Legends ZA before Kirby Air Riders comes out. Which means I'm hanging up.
3 days.
Plenty of time. Well, I have 6 hours. Time
Right.
starts now. Clock strikes 12. Midnight arrives. Button. Ignore that. You didn't see any of that, did you? What about this?